Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Last Call for Adventure. We're so thrilled to be here with you today. What a better way to start the day than some D&D post Valentine's Day. Did not mean to make that rhyme, but
What is
somehow
this intro?
that happened.
The voice
I
Day with
inflection
day.
and everything is just, a
I
roller
did
coaster.
rhyme day with
We've
day,
got-
Max. I
It's
did
day with
rhyme day
day.
with.
I mean, is it really a rhyme to be celebrated?
I'm not Lord Wyman. I can't just weave
can't all be
song on the
Lord Wyman.
spot.
That's why
Okay.
he's Lord. But that's why he's Lord Wyman. You know what I mean?
Maybe so.
Continue.
Wow.
It gets a pass, Bronze. I
Every
was
week.
fine with it. I was fine with it.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Every week I am attacked by Max. Every week.
Perhaps maybe you've met your match. Now let's have an exciting D&D match. See how I rhymed that? That was awesome.
No. That one didn't.
rough.
That didn't work.
It's rough.
Especially right after the fish catching episode. Catch was right there. This is
I know.
right-
I know.
this is
That's
right there.
that was the
Yeah.
point I was making. Is that rhyming with the same word is not as impressive as rhyming with other words. I'm
I'm going to
excited.
do another series where I try to guess the name of Star Trek characters just for you. Just
I would
for
watch
you.
that. I would
Just
watch
all
that.
of them? You're going to
Yeah.
guess all of them? Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
all
Who
of
is
them.
this? Benji Blisco? That's close enough. That's close enough.
My names were not that bad. No, actually, they were.
You
They were
said
pretty bad.
Busta LaForge. Like, that's
Rita
pretty-
Repulsor and Rebecca Starr
Yeah.
and Elmar.
Okay, but
That's my
Those are
favorite.
pretty rough.
Elmar,
Elmar
Pretty
sounds like a name
the
that you would
non-violent
have.
Klingon. Yep.
Yeah.
He's of the fighty race.
Yeah.
It was good. I enjoyed it. I got a lot of laughs from it.
Can't we just talk it out, guys, instead of
Yeah.
pulling out giant blades and killing each other? Let's come on. No, Elrond. Shut up.
What's funny is that was my second favorite character after Data, and I still couldn't remember his name. Even now, I can't. Is it Waldorf? It's Waldorf, right?
For who?
For the Klingon.
No, it's not. It starts with a W, but it's not. You added an extra syllable in there for some reason.
Waldorf?
Somewhere Dodger's screaming because we're still talking
What?
about Star Trek.
I
It's
added
the
an
old
extra
English
Worf.
version.
Yeah, it's just
War.
one.
I hear Dodger in
Okay.
my mind going like,
Yeah.
You fucking shit for later. Let's talk about D&D.
Yeah. I think that's wherever she's at
Waldorf.
in the US of A.
Um,
She's probably screaming right now.
Yes.
Waldorf.
Hello and welcome. This is the show where we play D&D, taking place across many different groups of people, all in the same world. Maybe some ways they'll be interweaved with each other. Maybe there was a plot thread in episode 1 that is going to be picked up now.
Was there?
Wow.
what?
Foreshadowing.
Yeah.
I didn't know
Yeah.
That's called. Sick.
that. I wasn't prepped for that.
But let's go around and meet our players first. Let's go ahead and start with you, DJ Wheat. Who are you and who do you play?
What's up, everyone? DJ Wheat here, playing Lord Wyman the Eighth. After a very exciting fishing competition, I don't even know what to expect today, but I'm looking forward to it. Also, I'm really excited because there's a new Marvel movie this week, and I don't know, it just makes this week a little bit better. So I'm doing good. I'm ready to role play. Got parent teacher conferences tonight.
Nice.
It's a full day. It's great.
Mhm.
Great. Yeah.
Mhm.
Actually, just a kind of funny aside. So my kid's taking Japanese in high school. Good for him. I took the first ever year that Nebraska offered Japanese, right? So it was like, this was back, folks, this is like back in 1993, right? And it was really weird. They did it like satellite teaching, but we had an in-room sensei, right? And I had Sensei Cunningham. And so my kid is getting ready to go on the school Japan trip in April, which was awesome because we
Wow.
didn't have that opportunity.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And so I'm reading through all the details and finding out, right, where he's going to be, where he might be able to pick me up like more statues of Nico Robin while he's in Japan. And I'm reading and it's like, please refer all questions to William Cunningham. And I'm like, holy shit. Right. So I told Jen, my wife, who's going to reach out to him, I said, hey, ask William Cunningham if he was, the Japanese teacher at Miller North, where I went to high school. And so my wife sends a message, doesn't hear for like a week. And then all of a sudden it's like, yes, Marcus. I remember him. Tall and lanky and full of energy. And my wife was like, yep, he remembers you pretty well. So I'm actually really excited because I get to see my old sensei. So yeah, anyway.
That is
still teaching Japanese. Wild.
Still teaching Japanese. Yeah. Still
That's
heading
crazy.
up the entire like Omaha like sort of school, multiple districts.
Is he going to Japan with your son then? Or
no,
okay.
I'm going to go on a different vacation. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's like, well, he's going to be gone. I mean, like, why not? But I am going to send him with a bunch of extra money and be like, anything you see that fits these categories, like bring it back.
Nice.
There's an extra suitcase to take with you.
Nice.
Let's go.
That's really cool. I cannot believe that your teacher remembered you after so long.
Yeah.
I think teachers remember every student.
Not surprised, to be honest. I had a good relationship with that teacher.
Oh yeah.
We would troll each other like really, really hardcore. I mean, I have to say that I think like a part of my art of trolling in the early days came from him because I trolled the shit out of him, and then he fucking destroyed me. Like one time, he absolutely bamboozled me, created this elaborate setup. I won't like go into full details, but I was actually like, holy shit, Sensei, you're the bomb, because he got me back for like 2 years of trolling him. And because a lot of the teaching was done via satellite, sometimes we as the class would have to phone in to the Japanese class. So whenever we did that, I would always...
I didn't say this sounds advanced.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Jeez.
You sure you weren't part of like some government program or something? Like what?
Dude, it was. I mean, think about this. We're talking about a satellite feed that comes to the classroom, and then we have to dial into the program to like be. There's like a 10-second delay. It was not advanced. It just happened to be using technologies at the time to achieve it. So at any time we would be on air, for some reason, Cunningham, since I would have to like leave the room or take care of something. So I'd always, Mr. Cunningham's like, he's really sick. He just had to run to the bathroom, or, there'd always be like some reason. And, the main sensei that was over satellite was just like, oh gosh, I hope Cunningham Sensei is okay. And then one time he came back and he's like, oh, Cunningham Sensei, are you feeling okay? And he's like, wait, what do you? It's like, oh, well, Marcus said that you had to run to the bathroom. I'm like, oh shit. Anyway, it was a good guy. So I'm not surprised. But nailing the description was pretty good. Tall and lanky and full of energy. Like sounds
about right. Yeah.
That's fire. That's like really cool. Yeah. Oh. Well, Max, that's going to be tough to follow up.
Yeah, Max, tell us about your
a really cool
French
story.
teacher who is teaching your dog French.
Or talk about wearing shorts in February, because I saw a picture of you outside wearing shorts, and this is intriguing.
Oh, yeah. It'd be warm here in Austin.
Jelly.
Now. It's nice. Escaping from the stupid. I mean, it wasn't terrible cold, but losing power when it's any semblance of cold always sucks.
Yeah.
But now it's warm. Anyways, I play Blibble. He's a warlock.
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't really have anything. If you guys want to talk about Star Trek more, I'm down. But
no, not at all.
A little.
Yeah.
What's your favorite episode? You have one?
No one has. None of us watch Star
Maybe
Trek.
featuring Waldorf?
Franz has never seen an episode of
Remember
Star
the time
Trek,
when
only the
Waldorf
movies.
broke his back and he wanted to die? That was cool.
That's a dream of yours.
He breaks
And he
his
was
back.
like, if you're my friend, please kill me. He didn't say it like that, but pretty much. That's
Again,
pretty
this
much
is
what he
Max's dream. This episode never happened.
said. It did happen.
He
He was
dreams
in the
of-
cargo bay, and it was very clearly a crate full of nothing that fell on him, and it bounced off like it was full of air because it was full of air.
Oh.
And they had to play it off like, Waldorf is seriously injured. He can't move.
I mean-
You're like, no, he did. Come on.
Maybe
At least put some sand or something in there. I mean, whatever.
Maybe Worf is just a bitch, you know? Maybe
I was thinking the same
You do
thing.
not speak that way about Waldorf
you know? Might
or
be the
Elmar.
I've
The jury's
seen-
still out.
I've seen Firefly.
Oh, I like Firefly too as well.
case. Uh-oh.
Yeah. I've seen Trigun. Have you been watching the new Trigun?
Max loves anime. If there's one thing I know about Max, he knows every major anime.
I'm not like the
start to
biggest
finish.
anime person, but I love sci-fi. So of course,
Yeah.
I'm a big Trigun fan.
JB, can you say Max loves anime again?
Max loves anime. There you go.
Little anime. Little anime. Yeah.
A little, yeah.
That is exactly why I like anime, I guess. Like that
Mm.
reaction. We don't
Oh,
keep
man.
up. We are a new generation of old anime watchers. In fact, Jen and I
Hmm.
just started rewatching Prince of Tennis, which is like fucking 25 years old now, but it's still great. We're already 25 episodes in. It's awesome.
I don't dislike anime. There's just a lot of anime that I don't vibe with as much.
I agree. Yeah, that's kind of the boat I'm in. Also, I don't know. The anime sounds are the opposite for me. They make me uncomfortable when other people are there. And I kind of learned this the hard way because I was playing Fire Emblem and I worked at an old people's home and I was like the safety officer. So anytime somebody pushed their emergency button, I was the one who did the wellness check. Or if someone didn't push their I'm alive button in the morning, I'm the person that had the keys to go into their apartment and make sure they hadn't fallen, like cracked their head open or something. So it was like, it was a job where either it was very hectic and I was covered in blood, or it was chill and there was not really anything in between. So I'm sitting there playing on my 3DS and I'm playing Fire Emblem, not really thinking anything of it. And I didn't realize that if you don't know what that game is and you're just listening and you're clicking through the dialogues, it's just, oh. And I was like, and I'm not thinking this.
Well, now you made it
and-
weird. Now you made it weird.
Yeah, well, and this old man, this 80-year-old man is sitting there drinking his coffee. And after like 30 minutes, he's like, I gotta know, what are you doing over there?
Oh, nothing, old man. Just playing this sex simulator game on my.
And the look on his face is like, he's just like, those are some, and then I remember the word he used, unseemly noises. I was like,
Unseemly.
Unseemly
so
or unsavory?
humili-
He
Unseemly.
hit you with the unseemly. Okay.
Yeah. And I was
Damn.
like, and then I was sitting there, I was like, oh my God, he thinks I've been sitting here playing some sex game for like an hour. And I felt so embarrassed. And now it's one of those things, like every time a character goes, huh? I'm like, oh God, no, I can't.
You should have just told you
again.
you should have told him that you were just trying to sleep with your senpai or something like that, right? Like just bring him into the story, make him a part of it.
I will
He'd be
also
interested.
say
Yeah.
for anime, I'm going to make the distinction. I personally think that anime voice acting, not dubbing, dubbing is a little bit more difficult because you got to match up to the mouth flaps and all that stuff, and there's a whole. But just if there's a show that is voice acted and then they go and you don't have to worry about the dubbing. Anime voice acting seems fucking easy as fuck.
Wow, I'm gonna have to.
I can't say that.
I got to dip out. Of
I'm
this
just
episode,
saying,
guys.
it really does.
Max is
It
just going after
really does.
an entire.
It depends on the show and it depends context wise.
What
but
is
a
it
lot
with
of
my friends? We've got Zeke
A lot
over
of
here
it is
saying that
pretty
all
goddamn
anime looks
easy
the
sounding.
same. And now Max is saying, "Oh yeah, anime is the easiest voice." Like
No, not all of them. Some of them are different, right? And they take a little more nuance, a little more, but a lot of them, they're kind of all the same.
I never want to hear that I'm the
They
controversial
used to call
one.
that overacting, but it's just anime.
I mean, sometimes there's an art to overacting, though.
Sure. There's nuance.
Yeah, the Yakuza games, I always play them in Japanese, and most of it is like wrestlers and soap opera actors, and they go crazy. And I'm like, I don't know where they found these men with gravel in their voices to be like, kid, yeah. But I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
Scream at me while
That's
you
great.
like ride up on a motorcycle, dragging a pipe behind you, spraying sparks everywhere.
And
I
I
love
don't
that.
want it to be misconstrued that I'm saying like all anime voice acting is easy and there's no skill.
I think that's
not
what
true.
you said.
That's not
believe
true.
Those
I'm
were
just
the
saying,
words out of your mouth.
there is a large
If we
portion.
could roll the tape back somehow through the purpose of editing.
Anime voice acting seems fucking easy.
That's exactly right.
Like you'd have to be fucking stupid. See, I'm doing it right now. That's an anime character right now. Look at me. I'm an anime character. You can't get past me unless you solve this math problem. He's a teacher in a school.
Is his
He's a
name
math teacher.
Sensei Cunningham? Like, what do you?
Now you started it.
I'm
got-
Sensei Cunningham.
I've got
vaguely
Ocadrian.
bonsai-ish.
I've got Ocadrian in my chat saying most anime voice acting takes zero nuance outside of how long you can grunt while adding kz to it.
Yeah. That's kind of my thing.
Canceled. It's
You
over.
know what? Listen, people that watch anime right now and have been watching for a very long time, either they're having two reactions. How dare he? Because, they're a little more animated with their responses. Or they're going, yeah, he kind of right. He kind of right a little bit.
No. There's a third bucket.
Third bucket.
There's a third bucket. Yeah, that's just silently like Max doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Whatever.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Boom.
I'll just keep
There
enjoying.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, bring this up
Anime.
when Dodger's back next week. Her and Wheat can gang up on Max and beat him the fuck up. So he stops.
No, if she comes back and she
how
wants to
voice
talk about
acting's
this, I'm
all
going to
set.
tell her to save it for later. We could talk about it after the show.
It is hilarious that you
JP.
took this long. Yeah.
Who are you?
Hi, I'm replacing Dodger. My name's Dodger. I live in the UK with my husband Strippin. We have a kid together, and I like anime and cutesy games, and that's me. I'm Dodger. Happy to be here. Did it work
Sorry,
out?
I'm reading. I have
We
to
good?
read this. I think you assume it's easy because you can't tell the emotion behind the language since you don't understand it.
I
True.
tend to agree with that, Chad.
But no, I don't.
I know
The thing
is
is-
a dangerous thing to
No.
say, but-
I'm talking about like in English. In English. I'm not talking about
English
like Japanese.
dubbing?
Yeah, dubbing
that's-
or shows that specifically
that's
are
like a
like voice
pretty-
acted in the anime style and all that.
Now there's a fourth
big-
bucket.
Obviously, I
English
can't
game.
judge on
Now
stuff
there's a
that's
fourth
like
bucket
Okay,
because everyone else
this
hates
suddenly
you
makes so much more sense.
for watching
Okay,
dubs.
Yeah.
I agree.
So,
Guys, I don't
some
watch
of what you're saying is
Yeah.
correct, 100%.
Yeah,
And
100%.
also, back in the day, they didn't used to hire professionals. They would just,
Yeah.
when you look
Mhm.
at older anime and some of the dubbing is really bad, I was looking into like the history of it. A lot of the time, it's because they legitimately would just take somebody they knew who was not a
Yeah.
professional and then sit them in front of the mic and have them do 6 voices on the same anime.
100%.
And you can tell when you watch it. And so
Yeah.
it's really bad. And as much as I
Mhm.
said, I love Trigun, and some of the actors did a great job, but some of the NPCs, there's one that I'll always remember that's like the father, and he's like, "What are you gonna do now? Bash the stampede?" And I was like, "Wow, that's not a professional." That's somebody they grabbed. They were like, somebody is at Viz Media or whatever the parent company was like, "Hey, you, come do this one. Come do this villain voice."
watching dubbed anime is actually a cardinal sin in our household.
Yeah,
Like there is
that's what I was
a
about to say,
tablet with the 10 commandments of Casa de Wheat, and I think it's like number 2,
Yeah.
never watch dubbed anime. It's just, that's how you avoid it.
Yeah, I
So
don't
you
like
guys
dubbed anime. I don't I don't play Yakuza dubbed either, and I feel bad because I have a lot of voice actor friends, and I'm like, I'm sure y'all did a good job. I'm sure y'all did a good job. But I recommend the same stuff for Bollywood movies. I don't recommend watching them dubbed. I think it really ruins the movies. I think you have to watch them subbed.
I think what I'm talking about is more distilled down to like sorry, I'll wrap this up quickly.
No. It's funny because Amazon's got a sale on back pedals right now, Max. I think you should have a couple.
This isn't backpedaling. It's more just giving
Elgato
actual
makes it,
context.
actually.
Yeah, it's the Elgato
Giving
back
actual
pedal
context.
for streamers
Obviously,
who say all anime looks and sounds the same.
I still agree
Specifically,
that is
Ezekiel
largely
the Third
true.
and Gassy
It's
Mexican.
very largely true for a lot of anime. But I obviously can't speak to Japanese voice acting stuff because I don't understand the language as much. I will say, though, in general, anime is like a style for a lot of the voice acting. It doesn't vibe with me a lot. And this translates to voice acting style that goes into then, video games that adopt that like kind of weeb sort of style of voice acting, whatever. It's not for me. I think it's kind of easy shit to do. Just coming from a voice actor perspective. Now, how long are you sustaining those voices? How long are you, grunting and doing that? That's exhausting. That takes, a bit of vocal control and skill. But the actual my name is Timothy and I have a quest, like that kind of shit. I don't like that. Nobody's named Timothy in a fucking anime. You can tell I don't watch a lot of anime.
Yeah, absolutely not. Yeah.
How dare you speak ill of anime? Like that kind of stuff. I don't really. It's like, okay, sure. There's like 1,000 other people that sound like you. So I think it can be hard to find like a unique voice in anime voice acting from what I've heard. I don't know why people think this is such a weird take.
I don't know what you do here,
It's
JP.
totally not
I don't
weird
know
now
how
that
to
you've,
get off this.
we were missing the frame of the
Yeah.
discussion, right? That was because now I'm like,
I'm gonna learn.
Actually,
I'm gonna learn Japanese. I'm gonna watch some anime, and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna say the same goddamn thing. We're like, listen, y'all. I watched all this anime. I watched it in the original, and I have the same opinion.
Or watch all of One Piece.
The thing is translation is crazy. And I didn't realize this until I took it upon myself to watch Amazon's The Boys in Hindi as a speaker of both languages.
I didn't realize they had that.
Yeah, they do. And watching it, I was like, oh, this is not what they said. So like even in English, things get changed. And there's like a scene where it's like, oh, tumhe sari duniya nafrat karti hai, which is like the entire world hates you. And I was like, no, what he said in that scene is nobody loves you. Everyone's fucking terrified of you. That is a very different translation between the whole world hates you and nobody loves you. People are just scared of you. That's like, but
Isn't that weird that they screw that up. Like there's there's nobody that can just like.
It's like an art. It's really hard.
Localization and translations.
A one-to-one. There's some things that. So like the people that obviously are like really good translators probably aren't working on the Boys Hindi translation.
I guess.
But it takes a lot to like even translate a book because there's not always a one-to-one sentiment. And I remember learning that while learning French. If you say I'm full in French, you say it means I'm pregnant. It doesn't mean I'm full of food. It means I have a baby in me. And they try to teach you this nuance because especially with what is it called? Colloquialisms. Like there isn't colloquialisms. Yeah. They don't translate as well. And so you can say something that's like very innocuous and in another language it means something completely different.
This sort of topic is like really interesting because I grew up in the fan sub era of anime where you basically had to like go hunt for the fan subs, but they put so much care into what they were like the Crunchyroll translations that I'm watching, it may not have been them, but whoever did them for more broad release, it's shit. It is actually shit. Whereas like the fan translations would break down very nuanced aspects of, like, say a pun happens, right? Where it's like the pun doesn't work in English, but this is what they were trying to do. They didn't need to do that, but they cared so much about that what they were putting out. But you're right. Like, translation at scale is like fucking really hard, and it took individuals like that, like they'd work for 2 days to get that out as quickly as possible. Right now in the entertainment industry, it's like, get me 29 languages in 48 hours, and it's that's about it.
Yeah. No disrespect to the team that worked on The Boys translation, but like I said, I don't think Amazon is getting the very best translators to translate this work of art, right? Like, they're probably just, like getting a team that's tired and having them translate 30 Prime shows that same week, and what ends up happening is like, it's a very rough and dirty translation. And I didn't realize how hard translation was until, like, we'd listen to Punjabi music on stream, and I would try to find the nearest approximation. And there's a very famous Punjabi singer who's actually performing at Coachella, which is a big deal for Punjabi Sikh people, is that he's performing. His name is Diljit Dosanjh, and he's like one of the headlining performances at Coachella, which is a first for us. And I was playing some of his music on stream, and I was trying to like translate it on the fly, and I was like, oh yeah, like my girl's like a gun. And everyone's like, what? I was like, my girl's like, well, specifically a Donali, which is a double barrel shotgun. And they're like, that's a compliment? And I'm like, if you're from the Texas of India, we compare women to whiskey bottles, because Punjab is like the Texas of India. All we do is drink, and we're like the fight. We're known for being fighty. And so, like, we're the weirdos. Like, Texans are kind of the weirdos in America, where it's like everything's different in Texas. And we're that in India, where it's like everything's different in the Punjab. And so it's not uncommon in our songs to be like, damn, that bitch is built like a whiskey bottle. Like, because that's considered hot.
Because the bottle's curvaceous, or
no, the whiskey bottle's very much a square on the sides.
I don't even know.
Rectangle.
I don't even know.
Whiskey's got some curves depending on the bottle.
Yeah, it's like small on the top and a big ass.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Or they'll say like,
do you see where we ended up with this conversation? This never would have happened if I wasn't ignorant about anime voice acting. You know what I'm saying?
This is just your intervention, Max. This is us just telling you, Max, there's countries outside of America.
I've traveled a fair bit, I'll have you know.
Bronze does have
all
a
over
point.
Texas.
Yeah. Bronze has.
I have footage somewhere of me interviewing people in the Philippines at like a rural place.
Are you asking them about
really
anime
cool.
voice acting?
Yeah, I asked them about like, so it's bullshit, right? And they're speaking Tagalog. They're doing a little mixture of English and Tagalog.
Yeah.
I was just saying this the other day to my friend that it's bullshit. And I'm like, I know, right?
I can't. I was trying to save you, Max, and get us off of that, and you brought us right back.
Well, Max does.
Don't add me to a show if you want order.
I was just like, I'm going to help him out. Let's talk about how difficult translation is. Max is like, no, we're going to go back to talking about how bad it is.
I'm going to quadruple down.
You gotta quadruple down.
D&D.
Otherwise, they'll eat you alive.
It's true. Max is just doing us a solid. He's going to get the comment section.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
Foaming
at the mouth.
Yeah.
Engagement. All these comments and stuff.
Numbers.
I gotcha.
100%.
Gotcha.
It's all about the engagement.
This is now the last call podcast. D&D. We play it.
You're the
JP
you're the
introduce
DM
himself.
of the D&D game.
The
That's
pause
correct.
after that was. Mwah.
Yeah.
What about JP? Like, he didn't introduce himself.
I introduced
He
Dodger.
introduced
Yes,
himself as
I'm replacing
Dodger.
Brooke this week.
I guess
She's in
officially
the U.S. I'm playing a bard by the name of Dove Shell, which is my character from Crew 1. The character's name is Prell in this episode. We'll get to that once we start doing the role playing. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm coming out to see what the group's up to ultimately.
Yeah. Coming out to see what the group is up to. And indeed, what is it that we all see? We see a frozen river, holes carefully bored into the ice so that the contestants can engage in ice fishing. But since the competition has come to a close, we see that these fishing holes are rapidly freezing over. The wind dies down. It's not as cold as it was earlier in the morning as we start to reach late afternoon, early evening. The sun comes up in the sky, casting like a faint orange glow behind a thin veil of clouds around you, illuminating the snow with a gentle kind of amber glow. The boughs of the trees surrounding you are heavy with snow and occasionally will kind of drop their loads, pelting you with gentle snowfall as you pass underneath them. You see in the distance, now some ways behind you, that the somewhat hastily erected stands are rapidly being taken down for this fishing competition. And your bag, still heavy with your quarry, you part ways with Red Jasper as he returns to the camp with Rhesus to attempt to help people who have fallen mysteriously ill after consuming some of the contents of, a little stream running off nearby. As you pass through the woods, your footfalls very much silenced by the heavy carpet of snow underneath your feet. You travel for not too long before you hear a sort of like pattering behind you of someone hastily trying to catch up. A bag slung around her shoulders. You recognize this as Red's significant other, as he uses the terms, the half dwarf Locke Glimmerstone. She comes running up, her red hair kind of matching the now rapidly setting sun, and cheeks aflame, breathing heavily. Wait, guys, I have something I thought I should tell you. Blibble. Bubble.
What?
I think it's right. Hi.
What is? What do you take your time? What's going on? Get your breath.
Oh, I had to.
It's hard
run
enough to
for
breathe
so
out here
long.
with it being cold.
It is. I feel like my lungs are on fire.
Take a moment.
Oh, she puts her hands on her knees and doubles over, breathing in deep. After collecting herself for a moment, she turns to you and Lord Wyman and says, I think I might have some information that can help you, since I used to work for Meridian Company.
Oh.
Great.
Yeah. Rhesus was sort of telling me a little bit while we were walking back to camp about the nature of your mission, which I'm not sure they were
our
supposed to
highly
do that.
classified mission, Reese, just so that we're clear on this, Reese's was talking to you about our highly great. Is that accurate?
Yeah. A little bit. Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah,
We did a fishing competition with them, and that because everybody knows that's how you bond. Go on.
And I might have some insider knowledge that can help you. Now, on the surface, Meridian Company might look like a logging camp or just a normal logging camp, but I was on a project for making a very special sort of vessel, a construct. And I think it could maybe help you get to where you're trying to go without being injured potentially.
Where is this vessel? And
Vessel.
is it?
It's on the
Yeah, I mean-
south side of the camp. I think it was sort of not something we were supposed to talk about, but you told me stuff that you're not supposed to talk about, or at least Reese did. So I thought it could help you because I wouldn't want you to get hurt with where you're going, especially after helping me sort of, pay my bills for the next several months.
Well, this is definitely valuable information for us, wouldn't you say, Lord Wyman? It's good that our companion did trust in this person, as now we are reaping the benefits.
I mean, we may be reaping the benefits.
If they're
I don't
not
see
lying.
us necessarily
Yes, we don't know that.
stepping into the vessel right this moment to safely go to the destination that we need to go. But yes, you are correct, Blibble. It could be fortuitous for us. So tell us.
And I
more. Where do
mean,
we
you shouldn't
find
feel
this?
bad stealing from them. Meridian Company is horrible.
Oh yeah, we'll fuck them. That's good. That's all the
I don't
justification
feel
I
bad
need.
at all. Yeah,
Yeah, we're
Blibble,
going
do
to
you
get in
feel
there and
bad?
murder
Yeah.
them without remorse.
I
Absolutely.
knew I had to get out. It was so dangerous working there. And every time they would have an accident, they would try to cover it up, People would go missing from the camp all the time. Sometimes things would misfire or explode, and they would do everything to get out of having to pay a settlement or square up with the families. They would just make things up. And as soon as I grew wise to it, I knew I had to get out. But I don't know. Sometimes I feel like they're still watching me. And you see her like kind of look nervously and scan the woods around her.
Hmm.
Do you think they're watching right now, or is this just you being paranoid?
Let's have her roll a perception check. The 16. Yeah, no. She she spots a small figure in the boughs and she leans in to you, Blibble, a little bit and goes, "Do you see that?
What?
Hiding in the underbrush?"
I guess I'll look if she points any direction.
Yeah, go ahead and roll perception with advantage, since she's kind of already pointed out where to see, where to look.
All right. Perception with advantage. I'm stalling because my character sheet is loading over here as I pop it out. Perception. Bang. That's terrible. It's a 6 with
You
advantage.
don't, yeah, you don't see anything. I think her eyes are playing tricks on her.
I don't see anything.
Doesn't that look like a small person? Like maybe a halfling or...
I don't. Do you see anything, Lord Wyman?
Can I roll?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Once again, you can roll with
it.
advantage since she's like kind of already done the initial surveying and she's pointing out
Do
a
you-
very
do you see
specific
anything?
spot to look.
Wyman? Why are you responding to me?
What am I rolling here? Perception.
So
Uh,
strange,
perception.
This long
Mhm.
pause, as if you're
I'm-
contemplating if you can see it.
I do feel like there might be. I don't know if it's just shadows or perhaps I don't know.
Ooh.
Maybe something waving from a tree, a strange bird. I do not know.
Paranoia sometimes,
Cannot see
plays
it. Yeah,
tricks.
it's. Oh, with advantage.
With the advantage, that's the dirty 20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know
So
why it didn't
you
show there.
see,
Yeah.
you see a goblin. It doesn't necessarily look like they're hiding, but more so looks like they're sort of following behind you.
Blibble. There is something there. Yes, it's definitely a goblin.
Mm.
Do you know him?
Blibble looks at you exactly like this. It's like, what the fuck?
I don't know. Do you know all humans that you come across?
I do know all
You just
bards,
know- you
but
know
not
all-
every human.
So you're saying specifically for like a race, you wouldn't know everybody in that race because
I just thought maybe you might
yeah,
know
yeah.
it. There's-
mhm.
You're
I think we're
reading-
realizing how dumb our question was, and now
Excuse me, let me press my Elgato back pedal here. No, but Blibble, there is definitely a goblin over there in the trees.
should we go confront him?
I mean, I don't know if Locke is. I don't know why a goblin would be following us, but I suppose we probably need to just get the information that we can get. I mean, what happens with Locke is what happens with Locke.
Well-
but
Here's the way I see it. Maybe we keep going, see if they follow us. And if they, then we set up like a trap, or like one of us hides, and we all hide and jump, or we could just run straight at them. Just depends. I don't know how fast this fucker is.
I'm not quite sure. I think we should run straight at him, Blibble, but I do like your plan about trying to outwit.
Sometimes people don't
the
expect it.
shadow.
It's the unexpected, What if you were a spy and you're like, right? What are they talking about?
Well,
and all of a sudden, I start coming at you like, ah! That would throw you off.
it would throw me off. Yes, you're right. Locke, were you intending on escorting us to this vessel, or did you just want to tell us where we would find it and then be on your merry way?
Well, I don't know if I should leave Red alone with those people.
Okay, well, great. Let's talk. Perhaps draw a small map of where this vessel might be, and then we'll watch as you walk away and see what the goblin figure does.
Oh,
If
okay.
he follows you, then hopefully you can get back to Red and crew quick enough that he doesn't put danger in your way. And if he follows us, then we'll go with Blibble's plan and trap him and outsmart him and outwit him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I can probably. I hope it goes after you. She sits down, and takes a roll of parchment out of her bag, and then unceremoniously tears off a piece of it, pulls a quill out, licks the tip of it, dips it in a pot of ink, and then starts hastily drawing you a rough map of the Meridian Company. The front gate here, you need credentials to get through. They usually only allow business partners through. And most of the people that requisition the lumber are, well, some of that's a farce too. It's usually, they say it's for airships, but the reality is in the back, they're working on these sort of mining vessels. The code name for them is the MC2, the Meridian Company Mining Construct. I guess maybe that's MC squared. I don't know. But
yeah, look at that.
Are you getting this all down, Wyman?
I'm jotting down all of the notes. It was very clever. The MC squared. I'm not even sure as a bard if I would know this level of mathematics, but it's okay. I thought it was clever nonetheless.
getting to the part of the camp where they build that is going to be very difficult unless you cut through the woods. There's a couple of places where their fence is weak and where they don't post regular guards. And she kind of thinks for a moment. Let's see what else she can recall or what other useful information she can think of to get you. Oh, pretty good. She sits for a moment and then pulls out like a small patch from her bag and says, "Here, this is the Meridian Company patch. You're usually required to like sew it onto your clothing. I only have one, but I suppose it could maybe help you in some way. Um, I
Are
don't
you
know if
only allowed entrance if you have the patch? Is there a scenario perhaps where one of us is wearing a patch and escorting people through the gate, or how
I
should
think
we
if you
be?
have a viable reason for a guest, they might allow you to bring one in. You really only need the employee patch to go to employee-only areas of the camp. Customers
Ah.
can come in through the front of the camp pretty easily. But the employee-only areas where they build the airships and where they build the MC squared is somewhere near the back. And there they will have regularly posted guards.
Like how many guards?
About 15 to 20 at any given time.
That's a lot. That's significant.
And with that 17, she like thinks to herself for a moment and then says, "But sometimes they take out the mining vessel for testing. And when they do, they have it leave the camp. If you were to intercept it on one of these test runs, it would only be guarded by 1 or 2 people at most, and the pilot."
And how often do they do these tests?
Well, I was more on the design of the hull. So I never really went on a test run. But I do know that they try to do it under cover of night so that people can't really see this thing that they're working on. Which is
Wait,
also why they
You
go to a
design
sort
the
of
hull.
like,
They didn't even take you on a test.
oh no, they've never let
bullshit.
me inside of it.
Stupid.
Apparently there's some volatile materials inside. So if you don't know how to pilot it correctly, and if you overlord the core, it can have some explosive consequences.
Great, Blibble. So you know how to pilot this vehicle.
I mean, I could probably figure it out. Most likely.
Well, I mean, assuming that the instruction booklet is not written in Dwarvish.
Well, I mean, luckily I have people that know how to read Dwarvish, right? So.
Oh, okay. Great. So
Oh,
we
I'm
can
sorry,
pilot
were you
this.
going to just stand by in this endeavor? You weren't going to go in the vessel yourself?
No, but I know I cannot pilot it. That seems well beyond my own skill set.
Is it because you'd have to like use your hands in some sort of manual labor sort of fashion?
No. It's more that in those situations, I want to be the provider of entertainment. You know, the one who sits next to the pilot and ensures that everyone is having, you know, a grand adventure full of song or
You're right.
stories.
It's more of a goblin job. Yeah. No, it's more of a goblin job. Yeah.
No.
For sure.
But we may need a pilot. We may need him.
From what I understand, you may need more than one.
God damn it! This vessel plan's starting to give me a headache. Starting to seem like it's just even harder. What if we just like poisoned everybody there? And no, because that's for the whole vessel. Like, if we get the vessel, now it's the problem because we can't pilot it. Oh, God!
I'm sure you could use like a mage hand, right?
Yeah, I mean, depending on the controls, if your mage hand could do it, sure.
Well, yeah, that's how
Is the
that's
danger
how the wizard
from
does it.
screwing up, you know, the controls itself, like not understanding it, or is it just like if you touch it, it might hurt you kind of thing?
Oh no, I mean, you seem like you're very intelligent. You're a arcane sort, and usually it's the arcane sorts that pilot it. So I'm sure you'll do the magic
Oh,
right.
then it'll be
and then
fine. I'm sure it'll be
as long
fine
as
then.
you don't magic wrong, the core won't overload, you know? So just do the
Magic wrong.
yeah, do the good do the magic right, and it'll be fine.
Mm-hmm. See, I'll
I'm
just
more
do the
of a-
magic right.
You know, I'm more of a carpenter, so I don't really understand the magic stuff, but I'm sure if you just do the magic right, and then the core won't overload.
Sounds great. All right. Well, I feel like we got some good information. Wyman, you got anything else?
Just one question, Locke. Is there just a single pilot? I mean, how many pilots could there be? Is it possible we might, be able to also force the pilot, or perhaps because they wish to pilot for us? Are they?
Yeah. What if? How miserable are the people that work there? Were they miserable like you?
I mean,
Oh,
yes.
I hadn't thought about that. Oh man, I wonder if the wizard makes the same amount of money I do. Can you ask the wizard how much money he makes?
Definitely.
We didn't have a lot of pay transparency.
See, that's a problem too, because if you don't know what your coworkers' wages are, I mean, I feel like a lot of places that's just like a right that a lot of people don't even realize they can ask about.
I didn't
legally.
even realize I could.
Yeah.
I had lunch with that wizard 3 times a week, and I never thought to ask him how much money he was making.
It's very common that people don't ask because they're afraid and they think it's like against the rules, when really you have a legal right in a lot of these places to ask what your wages of your coworkers are.
Oh, wow. I thought for sure I'd be fired if I were to ask that question. You're telling me I can ask my fellow coworkers what their pay is so that I can then use that as a baseline to negotiate a higher pay rate for myself?
That actually is exactly true. Sorry, I had a little frog in my voice there.
So good. So good.
Oh, wonderful. Well played.
Ooh. Yeah, no, it was perfect. Yeah, she thinks for a moment. She goes, yeah, I suppose you could probably convince them. Wow.
We'll give it a shot.
Mm.
Or we'll murder everybody and then try to figure out how to pilot it ourselves. It depends. These things are never set in stone. It's just, you never know how they're going to go.
Yeah, it's an elegant solution. With this, she picks up her bag and then, looking furtively around her, starts to run back towards the camp, somewhat terrified of the being lurking in the woods. Prel, you hear all of this. There was no particular attempt to be quiet.
Okay.
You hear the plan. You see Locke peel off and tear through the woods, somewhat terrified that danger is now going to be set in her path. You see Wyman and Blibble making a plan to potentially entrap you. What direction do you go?
Just so I know how to approach this. Are you still dressed as a baby walrus, Blibble? Because my assumption was yes, which is why I haven't just straight up approached y'all. Because I don't know if it's you or not. But if that's not the case, then I would
It
recognize
depends
you.
on how much time has passed between the fishing competition concluding.
Oh, it's been about at this point, now that your machinations are finished, it's probably been about 2 hours.
Okay, you know what? He probably is still wearing them because they're warmer.
Okay.
Wasn't your mobility severely limited while you were in them, though?
Well, that's why it was so easy to track. Right.
True,
It's just
true.
like a giant, it looks like Jabba the Hutt was walking
Well,
through
we have
the
up
snow.
till now we haven't really gone super far distance, so this might be a point where he considers You know what? Fuck it. This is what happens. You see it. She runs off. You're like,
Well, I suppose I should probably take these off. I can't be waddling around everywhere. We're probably getting tracked right now. Like, look at that. That's no wonder somebody's following us. You know? Maybe. Anyways.
Yeah. Is Marin with us too?
Marin was back at the camp. Was she not?
Well,
Yeah.
she was
We
at the
get Marin.
caravan. Would we have met back up?
Oh, I guess that's an important piece of housekeeping. We will say that yes, Marin is with you.
And is Axum with us too?
Axum tends to roll with Rhesus, so I think
Okay.
Axum is not. Mhm.
Okay, got it. So maybe I just assumed since Blibble knew Marin that Prell would know Marin.
Yeah. As
character?
you're sitting there, that's actually a really good point. As you're sitting
Yeah.
there, kind of like watching this play out, Pro, you see Marin kind of lumbering over, big Loxodon feet kind of stamping in the ground, obliterating poor baby Bubble's little shuffling footsteps. And as she comes over, she's just like, oh, things are going pretty well at the camp. It seems like everyone's making a recovery
Oh, that's good.
for now.
Nice of you to join us.
Well, yeah, it's my mission,
I'm just saying. What took you so long?
I kind of got distracted.
Bye.
By the Otoman. There's like a
That's
little
true.
baby Otoman. It was like really cute. And there was like a little grandpa Otoman. And we started playing cards. It was pretty good.
Really? That would be interesting
Yeah.
to see.
Do you ever play that game with
dexterity
the
they have.
pegboard? Do you ever play that game where you have the cards and then you
Right.
score points and then you move the little pegs
What's
on the
it
board?
called, Marin?
Bridge.
Cribbage, actually.
Oh, cribbage.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
I have played that before. I didn't know what it was called.
It's a
We just
really
called
fun
it-
old man game. I liked it.
Pegboard game thing.
Yeah, pegboard. We should just call it pegboard.
You want to play a game of Peggy? That's what they'd say.
That's so much catchier than cribbage.
Why would we call it cribbage? I can't even. I don't know if it's my face is getting numb or if it's just a dumb word. Cribbage. Cribbage.
It honestly just makes me hungry. It makes me think of
Mm.
cabbage.
Well, glad you're here. So,
Of course.
the plan is we're going to
There's
go
a
to this
plan?
room.
Oh, yeah.
The plan is we're going to go find this Meridian Corporation. It's got a vessel, apparently, that could potentially allow us to not be as harmed by, the effects of where we're going. Right?
Ah.
Yeah. but it's
Unless
also
we
under
drive
guard.
it bad, and then we'll blow
Unless
up.
we drive it bad, in which case the core could overload and we could all die. Maybe.
Oh, that's easy. Just drive it good.
Exactly. That's what we said.
Yeah. You're like
Yeah,
crazy smart, Blibble. I'm sure it'll be fine.
That
I've
is
never
true.
seen someone who can't read do half the things you can do. So you
I
must
know,
be
it's almost
very intelligent.
It's almost as if at one point I was able to read and some mysterious circumstance took it away from me. Isn't that crazy?
That's silly, Blibble. People just don't forget how to read.
I know. It's crazy, right? Sometimes they do, but whatever.
No, it would be like forgetting how to, I don't know, put butter on toast. You don't just forget that.
So
It would
anyway,
be like Lord Wyman forgetting how to sing. It just doesn't make sense.
So silly.
You don't need to be ashamed of your illiteracy, Blibble, because you're still really smart. You've really opened my eyes,
I kind of understand now that intelligence is not, measured by your literacy.
One could argue that I act as somebody who did. It's not important. Never mind. Let's go.
She, kind of packs her things up in her little rucksack. I guess we're going to commandeer a vessel, and, clips it 2 metal hooks around her midriff, taking her now flannel scarf and tying it in a big bow under her chin, her trunk kind of helping her do so, pulling it tight.
At the very least, we'll go take a look-see,
Can I be honest?
Always.
I'm not very good at sneak-sees, but I will do my best.
Okay.
I am very good at being a diversion, though.
That is
But
true.
I'll do my best.
It's possible.
I'm also
we
very
use
good at potentially covering my tracks, which you have done a very poor job of, Blibbles.
I was waddling with it's been so cold. We haven't been on the road properly, so I would stayed warm. Matter of fact, I'm gonna grab a little bit of this. He starts ripping and cutting his using his dagger to kind of cut some extra fur off of it so it doesn't impede him, just to kind of fashion it around in different parts that maybe could use a little more insulating.
Yeah, give me a sleight of hand check, and Marin is definitely going to help you. This is kind of a little bit of her specialty. So go ahead and add a +3.
Bam.
Ooh.
21.
You are able to fashion an actually very nice looking cloak.
Hell yeah.
And with Marin's help, her trunk in her hands kind of helping you here and there, making small adjustments. You know what? I'm gonna say this cloak actually gives you a +1 against cold damage.
Damn.
You gain some
Nice.
resistance to cold damage. Yeah.
I don't really know how to mark this. I could just kind of cloak of.
You could just make a note. It won't even be a +1. We'll just say you get resistance to cold. So next time you take cold damage, you just half it.
Fuck you. I'll note it down.
Yeah, next time, Blibble, you take
Next
cold damage.
time.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. Interesting choice of words there.
The next time you take cold damage, if you were to encounter some sort of entity or being that were to dole out damage in a cold variety.
Yeah. What
You
would
might
that
have
be
it.
like? You
I
might.
don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is nice.
also,
I think we did a good job. Look at
some
this.
housekeeping that I didn't think of. Because you came first in the fishing competition, you also get 300 XP.
Woo!
Oh, snap.
D&D
Does that mean you level?
5e
Jesse?
level up?
It'd be 6,000.
Click.
I keep forgetting how far Blibble is from leveling.
You should
I
be
think
very
you're still-
close.
you put me just under, yeah.
Oh, so are you 60? Are you 69 away?
Yes.
Yeah, you're 69 away.
Whoa, wait, no. Yeah, wait, huh? How much XP did I get?
You got 300.
300.
5,900 is where I'm at then.
Oh, so you're
okay.
100 XP away.
Oh, right. I got the random 31 XP because of that. Okay, I forgot.
Mm.
What is
That
level
just
5?
feels-
Because on this table it's saying
6,000.
6,500.
Oh, I thought
Is
it was
this an
6,000.
old one? I could be looking at a different roll.
That's a good
Different
question.
one.
Let me look.
Roll 20.
6,500 when I looked at the table.
6,500, yeah.
Oh, so it's
Yeah,
probably
6,500.
6,500 instead of 6,000. Might be.
Are you sure I get 300 experience, or is it the deficit that I need?
Wait, how far are you from it?
I was at 5,600.
Oh, so you're 900 away?
It's no biggie.
Okay. You're a little closer now. Now you're 600 away.
Mhm.
And Wyman, you are, because now you should be at 1,200. So
That's
you're
what I have.
1,500 away. Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
what I got. Yep.
Perfect.
Also, quick bit of housekeeping before we go forward. Blibble did grab that extra gold that they.
Yes.
How much gold was it? It was like how much? 100?
Who threw the gold on the ground? Because that would be the better.
Or no.
But
No.
I believe
Yeah.
Red did.
It was
didn't?
Reese's.
Oh, Reese's. It was Reese's,
Reese's
yeah.
did.
Oh, yes, it was
Yeah.
Reese's. Because
And-
Locke
And
gave
then I was
a portion of their gold to Reese's because Reese's won the competition for them, and
Yeah.
Reese's threw it on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
and then I picked it up because I said I didn't like littering.
Yes. So you do have that gold. I will have to
I
go
do.
back and see how much gold precisely that was because I subtracted it from like Reese's or not Reese's Locke's inventory in case you robbed her. I think a very weird
I
thing that
have that breakdown.
Players are
300
unhinged.
gold went to Belfry. 200 gold went to Locke. Minus 10 gold. I'm not sure where that. And 100 gold went to Reese's.
And
And then
into
Blibble
Blibble's
gave
pocket.
a speech after picking up the gold. Yes.
Does that mean I'm fucking rich? A little bit?
you are actually fairly wealthy. Yeah. This is in this world, this is a lot of money. Like with 100 gold, you could buy a horse and have some left over.
That's on top of what I already had, which
Drive
was
a
like 79
pilot.
gold.
Yeah. So I wouldn't say like you're not mansion rich because that's my
Right.
that's my marker of rich. You're not mansion rich,
Right.
but you're buy a horse and still have money to buy other things afterwards, which is
Is it
pretty-
every
pretty
100
well off.
gold or is it every 100 gold for one platinum? If I'm
Yeah.
marking out on a sheet. Okay, so I'll just put one platinum.
I
What do
basically
you
divide
mean?
everything by 10 in my world just so that it's less coinage to carry around in case we're doing encumbrance rules. I don't always do encumbrance rules,
About
but
10. Okay, so how much?
it's just nice. So like
Max,
if
you are-
normally like, you know,
Stop judging me. What's wrong with you? Stop
Yeah,
shaking
Matt-
your head.
Max, you
You're
can't
not
just
pulling
convert
a platinum
money.
out of midair. There's no
Yeah.
like
No. You
video
can't
game
just get
contextual
$100
menu, and
in
you're
tens
like,
and then
This
that
is
turns
for the
into
sake of my
$100.
character sheet where the money is. There's no ability to put 100 gold.
Yeah, there is.
It
'cause I-
caps out.
No, mine
No,
says
you
I'm
100
can't.
gonna
gold.
write it in my notes.
yeah, you can put 179. Yeah. No, you can put it in
I
there.
am wrong. I thought it was just 2 digits. I haven't had a lot of gold in my campaign career of D&D.
I'm a nice DM. I'm going to give you stuff.
Sweating.
Prel, at this point, you see this. You see, Marin kind of shuffling out Blibble's tracks as she comes along. At first, it seemed like she was heavy-footed, but as you're watching, you realize she's actually very skillfully, like, kind of covered the tracks as she came stomping along.
Yeah, I'll start
as
to
she,
approach.
like, kind of turns outward, it's almost like an unveiling, like a Cinderella unveiling of a new Blibble with, like, this wonderful, like, lined leather and fur cloak.
Yep. And just like an anime, you see me flourish it kind of Wyman style, really, where I go like that, or like this. I'm flourishing it out and you does the
Pretty cool.
They call that the tuxedo mask reveal.
Yes.
What that is, yeah.
Mhm.
I suddenly feel like a new Blibble. Blibble, Blibble, Blibble.
And then the
already
cold
had
rush. Then it comes
reverb
back to
on it,
reality.
and then you added the manual reverb, like dashing Blibble, dashing.
Thank you.
Wyman approves for sure.
I think we did pretty good, honestly.
Yeah,
Thank you for your help.
I'm approaching the party, so the figure that's been kind of just stalking you guys is coming out of the forest at this point. Walking towards
Marin
you
just
all.
very unceremonious is like, hi! Not really knowing the context that the Meridian Company is watching you. Hi there, little guy.
Oh shit, they're coming over. What the? Huh?
Yeah, I thought
You
that
know
was you,
them?
Blibble. How's it going, guys?
Oh, they do know each other.
What?
So,
No.
I guess as I get closer, Blibble, you start to recognize that you see yourself, except for the ears, which are one is very pointed and the other one is just kind of like a mess, like it's very stunted and messed up. And the skin is grayish blue. I forget what color your skin was, but the skin is grayish blue. It's a little different than you. But
Mine's
height,
light greenish.
okay, height and everything, all of the like distinctive marks on your face are like very clearly me.
What the fuck? Who? Is it just me or does he look a little bit like me? Minus the skin.
I'm not stepping into that trap.
No, I'm genuinely asking. Like, he looks very similar to me.
What, Blibble? Why are you whispering? I'm right here. Yeah, I look like you. It's Dove. You would know me as Dove. Yeah, it's Dove. Hi. I was keeping tabs on Red. He wanted to get out. He did this thing where he was in the tannery. You know, we're working, and all of a sudden he gets behind a ficus tree, and I act like I can't see him, even though he's a goddamn turtle, and it's a ficus tree. I totally see him, but I act like, oh, where'd Red go? And then he leaves, and I leave as well to keep tabs on him. So I guess he wanted to go fishing. And I thought I heard you guys, but why were you dressed as a kid? You had like little walrus. That right
Louis
there.
is
on the
looking at you
ground.
with like an eye raised, like,
Fuck. You Dove, you say?
Yeah, you know, Dove. The
I know who Dove is, but do you know who Dove is actually? Tell me something that only Dove would know.
I mean, I don't
I know you got to think about it for a second. Hold on.
Well, yeah, because what would I know that you would also know? I could say that I know what a ficus tree looks like. Do you know what a ficus tree looks like? So no, it's something
Honestly,
that
no.
you would know that also Dove would know who is me. And that I have to think about.
Guys, I'm going to be honest. I'm not sure if this is who they say they are, because this is...
I know one thing about you. You can't read Dwarvish. And then it crosses his hands.
Yeah, but like fucking everybody knows that now because of this jackass.
Right. Right.
There
That's-
is a whole song about it. That is true.
What's
yes.
with- Oh, okay. So I guess I should explain. When you left town, I thought, not everyone's going to want to go. People want to go into a store that has a goblin at the helm, right? You know, goblins have a sense of, you go to a place with a busy goblin. It's how it is. So I knew what you looked like, and I thought, well, I could do two things. I can, one, run a shop, and two, I could read Dwarvish to stop that rumor. So that's why I look like you.
Got the skin wrong.
I looked down and looked back. Well, I mean, it's okay. No one's going to call me out on that, right? That'd be kind of fucked up.
Yeah, that would be fucked up, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
look square at Wyman.
Yeah, no, I heard that part.
But you
gotta be
did
careful.
know him, Blibble.
Not because he's a goblin, though.
But you did know him, Blibble.
Final test. What was the phrase and name that we came up with after we completed our previous adventures together?
Well, that was a stupid name. I've also, that's a third thing. It's not a very popular. It was Blibble's.
You can't give me any of it?
It was Blibble's boys, I think, is what you were trying to say.
That's close enough. It was Blibble's buddies. Yeah,
Buddies,
it was really
it
shitty.
was one of the boys. It was a terrible name. It really was.
Hey, Dove, how you doing?
It's Prell. You can call me Prell now.
Oh, Prell.
Makes it
Sure.
easier. So
So weird. Feels like I'm in a play when I'm like around you. I have to go along with like what your disguise is, what character you are.
Anyways, who is your friend here? The racist human. What's his deal?
Racist human's pretty good.
I am Lord Wyman the Eighth. It's a pleasure, Prel, to meet your acquaintance. But forgive me for I'm confused. What are you then? A master of disguise or a shapeshifter of some sort? Like I'm not quite sure I follow this conversation. You clearly know one another, but Blibble is surprised that you look like him.
Yes. So, do you know have you met any changelings before? Because that would be what I am. And if not, on behalf of all changelings, because apparently you like to meet the races instead of the people, it's a pleasure to meet you.
It is my pleasure. I haven't met a changeling, but perhaps I have, and I never even knew that I met one. But
well, that's probably true.
I've certainly heard plenty of songs about changelings.
Oh, you're one of those sing-songy bards.
Yeah, he is.
Okay.
Dav's a bard too.
Oh,
A fellow master of the arts.
I forgot about that.
What is your discipline, bard?
well, you sing and I tell stories, or really people tell me stories about their lives, so it makes sense to them. If that makes sense, they like
And
relate.
then you share these stories with others?
Sure, yeah, sometimes.
Hmm.
You know, I didn't think about it. Do you ever make up your own stories, bro? Because I feel like if you just taking stories from other people, it's like you just kind of, where's the talent? You know what I mean?
What? How dare you, Blibble?
I'm kind of offended. That's kind of a fucked up thing to say, Blibble.
Well,
It's not like we can all go to school and fail and then just get a job afterwards, you know?
I didn't fail. I quit. By also getting kicked out. But I was probably out the door anyway.
Look, we don't have to talk about it, all right? I just bring it up because you said something fucked up, so I'm saying something fucked up back to you to let you know how fucked up that was and it hurt my feelings, okay? We can move on.
How good at you are piloting magical vessels?
What? I mean, what do we... I don't know. What type of magical vessels, I guess? If
I'm
that
actually not
matters.
100% sure if it was magical or if it's just, you know, dangerous in nature, like some sort of arcane power source. I haven't seen it myself, but you heard a little bit of what we were talking about, I imagine.
A little bit, yeah. I was trying to... I honestly didn't know if I was going to say anything because you were a tiny walrus baby. So it wasn't until Marin...
Yeah.
very easy
That
to
was
spot
weird.
Marin. You got the very wide, big ears.
I'll be
And you're
honest,
also
when I went
loud.
out on this
I
adventure,
tied
didn't think I
them
was gonna...
down with my flannel. She's like tried to like obfuscate them a little bit under her flannel scarf, which is tied underneath.
Camera
her chin.
snaps to her with like the flannel look.
Mhm.
Looks great.
Yeah,
It's a little babushka.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, look, it looks
That's
great,
so-
Marin.
Dev, do you feel weird being so small?
No, it's
You're
kind
so
of nice.
small.
It's kind of nice. I mean, I
Prel,
was
it's Prel now.
It's
Prel,
also
I'm
Prel.
sorry.
Yeah,
Prel.
Yeah. It's not that big of a deal. You knew me as another person.
We have to disseminate the cover story.
It's not that big of a secret, unless you're in town. I mean, really, once Blibble goes back, I'll probably not do this anymore because that would be weird.
But bro, you could change it to stuff.
Yes, that is true.
Hold on.
Wait, but so you can change it to something to get us into the camp that the boys were telling me about. You could change you can impersonate. Steal someone's identity. And Marin gets like up in your face.
Jesus.
You should steal someone's identity.
Yeah, I don't like to do that unless they know about
But you
it.
did it to Blibble, and he didn't know about it.
I was
know
doing him.
about
I was doing him a favor. I
Marin
was
is
helping him
right.
out with his literacy.
I did not
issue.
know about this. No, this is the first
You
time.
didn't know about this, Blibble? Doesn't that seem kind of messed up that he just
Identity
took your
theft does
identity?
seem a bit.
I was
fucked
doing.
up.
I wasn't gonna keep it, and then you were gonna show back up in town, and people would be like, "Oh, that's Blibble. He reads Dwarvish," and be like, "That's right, I do."
They'd be asking me, "What did you do with your skin? I thought you had darker blue skin." And I'd be like,
What's wrong with my skin, Blibble?
"There's nothing wrong with your skin. It's just, actually, no, there is something wrong with it. If you're trying to be me, you fucked up the color. Look the way it
I
looks."
couldn't. We were in the woods. The Fae stuff. It plays tricks. I thought you were. It's my.
It's true.
mistake.
A lot of times you saw it in weird lighting.
Yeah. You know how it is.
But you didn't ask. So why did you have to ask now?
Because are you upset, Blibble? Is Marin making you upset? Or were you
Depends. How
upset
have you
to
been
begin with?
portraying me? Have you been?
Marin's like
You've been
elbowing
reading in
you?
Dwarvish though, yeah?
Yeah. No, the whole all of our shop is the tanneries.
Nice.
It's
thick.
it's getting a name for itself, and it's all done in Dwarvish, right? Everyone, all the labels are Dwarvish, and then you have to read those. I have to read those in Dwarvish.
Awesome.
As you.
That's good.
Yeah. So you're not
Marin's like
upset.
elbowing you, Blibble. She's like, you got wait.
Well, I mean, it would be more upsetting if it was just some random person impersonating me. At least
That's
you have
what I'm saying. I'm not just gonna
You
go
got
and
some
take-
idea of.
This is more personal.
If I come back and then all of a sudden there's a bunch of, these threads that people, that I can tug at, and I have no idea what the hell's going on, and it seems like he's really been making me seem stupid.
No, it's
well,
I'm
then,
not.
Yeah, we got a problem.
That's not what I'm doing. We've been running the tannery, me and Red, and we haven't left really. It's been busy. Things are changing around there. You can see it when you get back to town.
Who's at the tannery now? If Red is
Well, we
just
closed
that
up
and
shop.
you're here. Oh,
Yeah. I just you put a lock on the door and then you leave.
that seems like a poor business decision to close shop when it's doing so well. But I'm not a businessman, so maybe I don't know.
I don't like this Lord Wyman fellow you've been.
I know, he's
keeping
kind of an
around. He's
asshole,
kind
right?
of he has a lot of opinions.
Would you believe the first time we got out of the city, we go under the city through the pipes. This motherfucker falls straight into the water where the carnivorous fish are.
The carnivorous
He almost
fish got him.
died.
Everyone knows about
He
the
almost-
carnivorous fish in the sewers.
He almost
That's the first
died.
thing you
He
look
was
for.
so stupid.
That's real stupid. This Lord Wyman guy, what an idiot.
I just remembered that. It's hilarious every time I think about it. Yeah, he almost died.
Well, I mean, the
Sure.
dying
But I
part's kinda
am
messed
still
up, but-
here and at full health, by the way. It's so, that's all that matters. It's just another verse of the story of life. I mean, what is a good story of life if it's just perfection, 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 perfection? There's no story or song there, Blibble. It's about successes and failures and overcoming that. I don't know what you're laughing at.
That's what he's good at. This bullshit with the words. He's pretty good at that.
No, some people like that.
You can't disrespect the person who wrote Pony. And you see Marin actually getting upset.
Oh yeah, she's a big fan. She's a big fan. No one said that he's bad at his songs.
Art, my pony, jump on it. It's so good. And you're just sitting here and it's saying this stuff.
I know the song too. If you recall, I sang it with you.
But then how can you say that, he's not good at anything?
Well, I can separate the art from the artist, right? The artist might be an asshole, but his songs are good or catchy at the very least. You know what I mean?
Sure, yeah.
It's
I
I
guess
know it's a
okay.
weird concept. It's a
It's-
very strange concept. A lot of people can't do it.
It's
I
okay.
guess you're right. It just, okay. All right.
Blibble knows that my works will grow exponentially across the lands the moment I'm dead. So I understand why he thinks that, that might be good for me. I'm just not ready to finish writing or singing quite yet, Blibble. Even though
Sure.
it was pretty close against my, wanting to be there and
I think,
forces of nature that I cannot
it was,
control.
it could happen to anybody with the whole rung of that ladder, giving way.
Mhm.
It just was extra funny because he was flourishing around that cape like you was some really hot shit, and then all of a sudden you just fell into the water and almost died.
Well, you got to watch out for the carnivorous fish. I mean,
Yeah.
we all know
Oh,
they're
they
down
are.
Yeah,
there.
they're in the water. Yeah,
Yeah.
they purify the water. They make it all clean.
Yeah.
And they
You almost purified the fuck
Technically-
out of him.
Well,
technically they filtered you out, and that was maybe like, because you don't want people in there,
yeah, no, I
Um,
don't want to drink people. That's not a
That's
nice thing
potable.
to
I
do.
would
It has to be
probably.
potable water.
Potable.
It's
not
a
potable.
good thing that Reese's was there
Put
to
it in a
save me,
pot,
considering
then
that
you-
there's nothing you could have done, Blibble.
Oh,
I mean,
snap,
honestly-
in your face.
Well, they're literally aquatic. Like they have all the advantages to save you. So. And I just met you. Why would I put my life on the line at that point?
I thought that adventurers had a much stronger moral code than maybe you think. and
Have
that's
you
fine
met
too.
me?
I have. I find you to be a very interesting individual, Blibble. Quite intriguing to me, actually.
Oh, that's good, I think. Speaking of adventure, we should probably get the fuck out of here because we've been sitting here talking for a good while.
I mean, Prel, you said you might be able to pilot a vessel. I mean, Blibble
Yeah, I
will
could figure it
probably
out.
just use 100 gold to bribe the pilot, but perhaps
Whoa.
you wish to
You got 100 gold,
join
Blibble?
us on this quest.
Yeah, no, that's Red's. He's on like the 70th, 8th vegetable or something with that water creature. So they're going to be there a while. He goes all the way to 100 sometimes. So
Quick cut.
Oh, I love that one. What's your 80th favorite vegetable?
That's a really good impression.
That's a good one.
That's a really good impression. And that'll be where we take our break
Great.
with Red listing through the vegetables. We will be right back. Stretch your legs, get some water, play with a laser pointer like my cat is.
very
We'll
important.
be right back.
Welcome back to Last Call for Adventure, going into the second half here of the episode. What episode? 13, 14? I don't know. I don't know how we're naming this stuff yet. So
5 of cycle 2.
let's go with 5 of cycle 2, which would be 12 overall, probably. Bronze, help me out here. Go ahead and take the show.
Well done.
Yeah. We'll go. We'll yeah. We're good. Close enough.
Yeah.
You head off towards the direction pointed out to you by Locke. Or actually, do you? Well, I guess I should ask that question. You seem like you had somewhat of a plan in place. Do you want to discuss that more as you move forward, or would you like to take a short or long rest, go under cover of night? How would you like to approach this mission that you've undertaken?
I think you like cut back to the group, and I'm in mid conversation. And look, I can't just change. I have to like study a thing, a person, a being, an entity, or whatever. And then I'm not gonna have the clothes, so I can't really just like become one of these guards or whatever the idea was. It would take time. We could do that, but I don't know what type of timetable you guys are on, or what you're looking to accomplish here.
What if you made your skin look like clothes?
I never tried that.
Why don't you try that?
It sounds kind of gross.
I mean, it's all a little gross. It's kind of it looks kind of, yeah. It's not the prettiest thing. I don't think I'm
Skin
going to try
clothes.
that, but it's not a bad idea in the future.
I mean,
Well,
I
clothes.
don't.
Would they have like skin consistency if you touch them?
You shouldn't get into the specifics there, Blibble. You won't like the outcomes.
Ugh. Freaking me out just thinking about it.
Yeah.
Let's not do that.
Hey, Prowl, how come your very attractive sibling doesn't do that?
My very attractive. Who is my
With
very?
the guitar?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you're talking
Yeah.
about. Yeah, I forgot that you met. Son of a bitch. He's always causing. Yeah, you're talking about Somber. Yeah. What? How come he doesn't what? Turn into people?
Yeah, why is he, or is that his real face, or is he just hot? Like, how does that work?
Well, I mean, you might think he's attractive. Sure, that's we all have.
Singer.
What? He is a singer. Yeah, you have a thing for singers.
He's a
I
good
think.
singer. Yeah.
Yeah,
You don't sing, though.
No, I don't. I don't partake in
don't
the
sing.
singing. Anyways, yeah, he doesn't. He will do that from time to time, but you know, we all go our different ways. So, anyways, what is y'all's goal with this mind thing? I only heard half the story. What are y'all trying to do? What's the mission, so to speak?
Essentially, it's Marin's big whole thing to go. She was, hired.
Marin's
to
got
go-
a big hole.
No.
What?
What?
No. What? It's her big whole thing. It's the whole
What?
thing.
You
It's
said
her
it twice
mission.
now, Blibble. What do you mean?
Marin, if you want to tell him what we're doing.
I don't know. What are we doing,
Blibble,
Blibble?
I'm asking you. I'm not asking her. I'm asking you. You seem to all,
talking about
you know?
something. What are you talking about?
Marin was
Yeah?
hired, and this is her big.
Don't say it.
Whole thing that she has.
No,
going
it's
on.
not. Blibble. What?
It's a whole thing for her. She's got a big old thing going
Stop
on.
saying it.
Whole
You're making it
thing.
weird. And Blibble, this is like the fourth or fifth time you've said it in the past
Yeah.
10 seconds. And now
I don't have a whole thing.
this is weird.
Wyman?
Well, you see, there's this whole thing, but let me break it down for you.
It
Our
sounds different when it's
goal-
coming from him, though. I don't know why. Go ahead. I'm sorry to
Our-
interrupt you.
Our goal is to survey an area called the Onyx Shore. However, there are reports that perhaps the Onyx Shore is very toxic to anything that might be living. People are getting sick and even dying, which is why we need the vessel to safely travel to Onyx Shore. We need to survey, we need to determine what could be causing this and anything that we might learn in the investigation. And if we do this, then it could mean a promotion for Marin in the Guildhall.
Like I said, it's this big whole thing.
Oh, that
big,
is a big old
giant
thing.
thing.
Yeah, congrats, Marin. You might be getting
Yeah, you
a
get it.
promotion. Yeah,
See?
it's not. But wait, so you guys were just going out there and taking a looky loo?
Yeah. It ended up turning into a looky-loo with a bundle of joy. I turned into baby Bubble.
Right.
Yeah. Blibble hasn't been the same since he inhaled all that campfire smoke.
Why are you huffing campfire smoke?
When did I huff campfire smoke?
Remember, you were like staring into the coals and your eyes turned all yellow from all the smoke. And then after that, you were like, I guess I'm going to dress up as a baby. It was really weird. Got all high on the campfire fumes.
I was just zoning out. Yeah. I was,
Wait,
Don't-
did he-
Yeah, you were really zoning out. You were like staring in the fire and you were like,
Did
it was
you-
have you ever
weird.
just... I like fire. What? Sometimes it's... Especially when you're out in the wilderness, sometimes the basic elements can transfix you. It's transfixed.
Right.
Make a deception check.
It's this big whole thing.
This big whole thing. This will
It's a
be against
14.
her insight. Dun, dun, dun. All right, I need to transfer Marin's sheet to roll 20 is what I need to do. Oh, is Marin higher level than y'all? Oh yeah, no, she
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, she is.
Oh, +3. Yeah, 17 beats a 14. So she's like kind of looking you up and down. I
What?
don't think it was that.
Of course it was that.
What,
You didn't look happy to be in nature. You looked upset.
Sometimes it's upsetting how much one loves nature.
He like looks, furrows his, like, huh?
Yeah. Because, you know, we get so sometimes caught up in the city life. We forget to appreciate the simplicity of nature.
Blibble, what are you trying to hide? Because you're really terrible at this.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? You know what I mean, Blibble.
I'm not allowed to just look at fire sometimes and zone out.
No, you're totally allowed to. But whatever the fuck you just said before that means you're hiding something. If you would have just left it, then you would have just been looking at fire. But now you're looking at fire and hiding something.
You're hiding something in fire.
You can.
You
tell
just
us,
did it again,
Blibble.
Blibble.
Yeah, you did it again. You can tell us we're your friends.
I just like fire, okay?
Right.
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 We got to go take a look at this camp now. If all we have to do is go out there and just look at it.
I think, well, we have been told that the vessel goes out for tests under the cover of night. So I do think that we need to survey the area in which the vessel shows up in the cover of night to determine the number of guards and how we're going to get to the pilot so that Blibble can use his 100 gold to bribe them into driving us to the Onyx shore.
Yes, the 100 gold is a pivotal part of this plan.
It is.
Where'd you get
What?
100 gold
That is
from?
such a huge bribe. I'm not giving someone 100 gold. Ridiculous.
Great.
Well,
We'll
why not?
start at 50 for negotiations. But if
Just
the
really
pilot
wants
is a
me to
smart
use my gold. He
businessman,
wants me to use his gold now.
I mean, if you want to use, if you're just giving away gold, I got a
No,
brand
he's
new
just
tannery
upset because he
that,
took like
you wanna
a
make an
small
investment?
10 gold fee, and then I scooped up this gold that was going to be left on the ground, and now he's all upset because I have more gold than him after this whole thing.
I mean, if you want me to throw in the 10 so that we can make the bribe larger, I have no problem with this, Blibble. And by the way,
See,
Pearl, why
now
do
it's
you
about
care
just
about
making
gold
sure
at
he
all?
empties-
Your business, your
You see what he's
tannery
doing?
is
Now he's just
so
putting in that 10 gold
successful,
because
like-
it's worth it for him to see my pocket emptied.
Wait, he's trying to empty my. He's trying to say I don't have it. What do you have against goblins, Mr. Wyman?
I
Right?
have nothing against
He's got
goblin.
something against goblins having some
This is-
money in their pocket.
You're
I think this is what this is about.
changeling anyway, Prel, unless you are lying to me. In which case,
Why would
you
I be
become
lying?
that much more.
There's nothing to lie. What? Huh?
I know you're a fellow bard. You can do no wrong.
Now what? He's just a liar? He's a goblin liar? Is that what he is?
No, he called me a changeling
maybe a
liar.
changeling
not a
No, but
goblin.
he
liar,
said
perhaps.
unless you're a liar. He said you're a changeling supposedly unless you're a liar, which would make you actually a goblin who is lying. Boom! He's a dick.
I mean, that checks out. That all. No lies were detected there, Blibs.
I like that, Blibs.
Yeah, I offer a little like goblin fist to, like,
Bam.
yeah,
Yeah, we do a little goblin.
All right, let's get the fuck out of here. We've been here forever.
Yeah. It also just looks strange because it's just Blibble, like pounding himself.
Slightly different version of Blibble fist pounding. Yeah, fist bumping.
Yeah. Well, look, we'll try to figure out a plan. If we just got to go and look at it, then it's not that big of a deal. But let's, do you guys know where we're headed? What direction? I was following you.
Yeah, we got this map that was kind of outlined. The Wyman's got it, I believe.
Oh, great. Yeah, sure. I've got it right here.
Well, great. Yeah, okay.
We're going to go, let's see, if the map clearly says we're going to go the direction over there.
That way. Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead and give me a group survival check. You gain advantage since you do have a map.
Was that everyone rolls survival or one person rolls
Yeah,
survival?
everyone rolls, and then we take the second
3 and a 5.
highest. We take the second highest as your group.
Would that be a 9, which is what I rolled? Does Marin roll?
Yeah, Marin can roll.
Surely she
there's
would. She's good with maps.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right now, right now we have a 9. Let's see. What is Marin's? Marin has a +6 to survival and comes in with built-in advantage. So I don't know if that means advantage twice. I think it's just once.
Yeah. A 9 and
Are you?
a 23.
Okay.
Boom.
23.
So a 19 would be
So-
second. Yeah.
19 would be second best.
A 19 would be second highest, yeah. So, between Lord Wyman and Marin, kind of consulting the map and consulting each other and consulting the stars overhead, they're able to lead you to the Meridian Company logging location with relative ease. As you approach, you do see like a tall fence made of tree trunks that have kind of been sharpened at the top, and they are embedded in the ground pretty deep from the looks of it. Probably about a foot deep for each of them. These posts are. You see the line of the fence kind of cut out through the forest ahead of you. And in fact, as you start to approach it, you notice the forest itself kind of begins to thin out. Cover is getting harder to come by as eventually you kind of break out into a clearing that's full of stumps, and then you see this fence ahead of you. Marin kind of peers out from the cover of the forest that you're in now, and then tries to align the map provided to you with what she's seeing in front of her. It's like, well, it looks like that's the front gate. And we don't want to do that. We want to wait for the test. Now, this side of the forest is clear cut. So I think if we swing around to the right, that'll be the forest where they maybe do the test drives in, because they wouldn't be able to hide a giant mining vessel here.
Right. That would make sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we don't want to go in
And
the
we'll-
camp because it seems just like a bad idea. There's too many of them. And then you're trapped.
Mm-hmm. She's gonna roll a perception. Apparently, she also gets advantage on these, and I didn't know that. Oh, okay. For a dirty 20.
Come here.
And she looks carefully, and she notices 2 watchtowers posted at different spots within the camp. She points them out to you as they've been skillfully obfuscated with branches and trees made to look like tall trees that kind of fit in with the backdrop. She points them out to you, Lord Wyman, and says, guard posts there and there.
I kind of acknowledge that. I'm like maybe even adding to the map, right? Like what you're scouting. And probably says to Marin, like, based off of those guard towers, do you think that they are also being used to monitor the night tests? And could we determine where these night tests may take place as a result of the placing of these guard towers?
That is very smart, Lord Wyman. Give me an intelligence check, and
Okay.
she is going to help you.
Oh,
She only has a +1. So go ahead and add her proficiency to yours, so you'll get a +1 on top of whatever you roll.
Okay, I'm just gonna roll it and then +1 whatever this shows.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. An 18, so 19.
Mhm.
You pour over the map, and it dawns on you, Wyman, that one of the towers is very clearly watching the front gate, but the other tower, it doesn't seem to be posted in such a location that it would be able to surveil the front gate with any type of, it wouldn't have a clear line of sight to do so. In fact, as you're looking at it, you notice these like sort of slats in this building that's like up on these stilts, and you notice they're pointed out across the back of the camp in a particularly dark thicket of woods. They're facing in opposite directions, leading you to believe that maybe the back guard post is designed or erected in such a way to watch something else.
Okay. I relay this information to the team and suggest perhaps that we find a location we can safely scout from that would allow us to see what this guard post is looking at, which could be, in fact, our machine construct nightly test runs.
Yeah, no, that sounds good to me. I mean, this is y'all's mission. I'm just here for support. Whatever y'all want to do.
Sounds pretty good.
Any, whether it's based off of the map or what we can see, any sort of hill or advantageous place for us to sit to be out of danger, but also see this area?
Yeah. Well, with that 19, you notice that there is an area where they are weaving these very large sort of bladder-like canvases that are used to kind of keep the airships afloat. And they form a pretty good area to hide, where they're like drying these very long membranous, made out of fibery roots, where they're drying these canvases on the trees sort of across from you, across this like barren thicket that you're in now. You do notice that there is a place where you would be able to like get closer to the camp and be able to potentially hide yourselves amongst these canvases that are drying from the tree branches.
Great. It's just like they were strategically put there for us to utilize on our adventure. Let's and so I again relay the information and suggest, I think that right at the dawn, as the sun is setting, perhaps we could watch for some sort of guard replacement and their patterns, and then make a go for the drying canvases in which we can take cover but not be seen by the guard tower.
Yeah, no, that
You'd
Made
have
a
to
lot
make
of sense.
You'd have to make a little bit of a break for it, but yeah, if you timed it right, you could definitely pull this off.
Timing is Blibble's middle name, so let's do it.
Right.
Well,
So, how do you want to attempt this?
I feel that's the perfect cut. Is
Well,
him just going well, and then it just cuts in the middle of him saying. It's perfect timing.
Because Blibble's like,
yeah.
like, he doesn't have a last name. It's just Blibble.
Yeah, it just cuts.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you think? Do we make a quick go for it?
Absolutely.
Do we all go?
Well, look, I'm not trying to be mean, but we got to talk about the elephant in the room.
Right. Or the elephant, rather, standing here outside
Yes,
with
the
us.
one right next to us. It's kind of hard to hide. which is a good thing. You stick out.
What do you mean? What are you trying to say?
I'm saying that you're not compact like me and Blibs. You're
It's a big old thing, right? Where
Stop.
you're larger
Oh,
than.
God, you can't say that
big
anymore.
whole thing.
You can't say that about some. You could say that
Just
about
like-
someone's plans, but you can't call someone
Just
a big.
physically, you are less.
Marin,
So here's the thing: you're larger than we are, so it makes it harder for you to hide, right? Because you got this heft, right? No larger than, not overly large. You know, I think you look great. For someone of your kind, which is great, and I bet you probably. It's hard for you to hide, right? You said yourself you're not great at the sneak thief. You said that. I didn't.
That's true.
But what are you gonna do without me?
But no, you'll be there. That's why you got that bow. You could stay right here, and then if we need any type of support,
That's
you just-
actually true, because then you could
just shoot
be
'em.
Overwatch, and you're really good at that.
yeah.
So you want me to stay here?
I mean, unless you'd rather potentially get caught out by the guards and die because of the lack of sneak thief.
But I can.
I don't want you to die.
Oh wow. Okay, fine. I'll hang back, and I'll.
Because I don't know how
I'll hang
brutal they
back.
are. If they find an intruder, they might just take you out.
But what if I put some shrubberies on me and just looked like a very large bush?
I'll tell you what if you went and tried that, and then you came back, and then we were going to give you a very, very harsh, brutally honest criticism of how well you did. Let's say from like a scale of 1 to 20, we'll give you a numerical value on how well you did. And if you didn't do very good, then maybe we don't do that.
Okay,
Okay, go.
I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
She runs off. She actually has a +5 stealth.
what?
What
Yeah.
the fuck?
How does she-
She got better stealth modifier than me.
I guess
Yeah.
that's a ranger thing.
God,
Yeah,
her
it
stats
is.
are actually pretty good.
In my mind, I view it as, she's really good at like stealth and survival. In my mind, though, I view it as like she is a big elephant that knows how to obfuscate her shape, you know?
Sure, yeah.
So, she's gonna go and she's gonna try to create, do that well. She's gonna try to create a disguise for herself with a 9. She comes back, and you notice that like she has taken some branches and kind of put them on her cloak and kind of created a very rough looking ghillie suit. Like if she were to lay down, it might work. But as she's standing, it's not fooling anybody.
Oof.
Where did Marin go?
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
We're not doing that. Okay, Marin, we can
No.
see you. You're right there.
No,
No.
because Pearl said that they couldn't see me.
No, I gotta be honest. Like,
Yeah,
if we're talking about that scale that I mentioned,
yeah.
that's like an 8
It's bad.
or a 9
Oh, this is
out of
bad.
20. It's not good. Not good.
Okay.
This particular
All right,
instance
well,
is not great. It's fine. You just
now
stay here with
that
Wyman. And me and
Everyone
Blibble.
has
Go
had
in.
fun. This is why I, Lord Wyman, pay attention to details and take
Oh, right, he does
extensive
this.
notes, because the only disguise that Marin needs is this patch right here. The one that says I am a member of the Meridian
Is
Company.
there a
If
Lord
we are
Wyman the
caught-
9th? Just wondering. Just curious.
There is not.
Okay. All right. Great. Good news. Sorry. Please continue.
And then if we are caught, then Marin is, of course, a part of the Meridian Company and is accompanying us for, I don't know, some sort of maintenance or inspection. It we can use the patch as a way to deflect.
He's talking about the patch. I thought he was going to try to make like a disguise or something. He does that sometimes.
I mean,
actually.
the patch is a disguise in some ways. We just need to sew it to Marin's clothing. And this is what Locke said, that it will.
But if she gets discovered from the guard towers from on high, you think
She
they're
just
going to be
shows
like,
them the patch.
stop,
I
don't
mean,
shoot.
Yeah,
She's
I'll be
got a
like-
patch.
made it,
Yeah, I'll
yes,
be like, look.
You're going to be pointing at a arrow or a bolt sticking out of the patch, and they're going to be like,
Okay,
we
what if-
screwed up.
What if we just kill the people in the guard tower?
So it's like a risk reward thing, right? They're in a guard tower, which is fortified. And I feel like we're just inviting more chances of failure in our discovery if we just start attacking this guard tower.
But aren't they going to see us hijack the mining vessel?
But at that point, well, ideally, no, because then we've just we follow the test vehicle, right, as it goes. And there's only so many that are using the vehicle. So it lessens the chance that, alarms get sounded and, a mob of like 15, 20 people. We're trying to minimize that, right?
Yeah.
We're just scouting right now. That's all we're doing.
Well, you guys are just saying you want to take
Yes?
the vessel, though. That's a little more than scouting. That's
Well, initially, you got to make sure that this is
stealing.
where even it comes from, right?
But I mean,
Or where it might
Listen, if we
stop
all want to
or-
go at the same time, I was just concerned that, the whole sneaky thing would be a problem. So
Great.
I
we
mean,
can
I
just
get
go with
it.
the patch idea. Yeah, you know what? Let's go with the patch idea.
Marin
Every
and
time
I can
intruders are
stay
found
here.
for forts, I'm pretty sure most of the time they just go like, no, we're not going to shoot at them. They got a patch. It's a solid plan. Let's do that.
I mean, do you think they're that ruthless that they would just?
They have a
Fire.
sneaky, they have like a very secretive test vehicle, and Locke even told us they're a bunch of assholes. That doesn't seem like the ask questions first, and then shoot later sort of type to me.
Fair. All right, so half of us will stay, and the other half of you will go.
that's a weird. Me and Blibble are going, and you two are staying. Why did you have to say it? That's such an odd way
That's
of putting it. I don't
Correct.
How many are up there? Can you tell if it's just one guard tower or one guard in the tower?
Take a peek-see.
Let me take a peek, see real quick. Hold
why.
on.
That's like a fairy just zoom over us and go take a peek.
Pixie. You know the answer, Blibble. Take a pixie.
What the fuck was that?
Are you
Oh,
rolling?
my fairy DM mother. What the hell?
Oh man,
What am I rolling?
perception. I think
You can
right?
roll, perception to see if you can
See plus
see
one.
the shadows from like a single candle inside and ascertain if there's like how many figures are in the
Ugh,
tower.
perception's no good. Nope. It's a 2.
Wow.
Yeah, you can't tell. You see the shadows kind of flickering back and forth. You see movement, but you can't tell how many are in there.
I have no idea. It's just some lights moving around. Figures.
All right. Look, I got a crazy idea.
I did
love
too, but
crazy ideas.
It depends on how many people are up there. If
Blibble, you remember when we were, early on with Red and that Kinku motherfucker? What the fuck? What the hell? The bird girl, the one that like saving people.
Listen, okay, you can't just say that.
What? What's her name?
I'm pretty sure you chastised me for saying something very similar when we were first meeting. This
Can't
bird
just call people
motherfucker?
bird Prowl, yeah. Like
What?
Elegy's mom
So-
probably was a bird fuck motherfuck. That's
Look,
rude.
if we're really getting into this, the whole reason I'm talking so harshly is because it's it spawns from. Okay, the idea
Comes from
was.
me. Yeah, it comes from me. Okay.
Do you get that, Blibble? He's disparaging you. He's
I'm
being
not
ignorant.
disparaging.
He's not entirely wrong though. I do kind of talk like that.
We're not
And now
disparaging
everyone's gonna
anyone.
think you're racist.
I mean, I don't know if I would say bird motherfucker, but I definitely would say bird person.
It's
I have
different
said that.
though.
What
It's
was
like
her
a
name?
little better.
I
Like,
don't.
Elegy. Her
Elegy,
name is
yeah,
Elegy.
Elegy. She's great. She's perfect. She's saving tons of people. I heard a lot of things about her in the city.
She saves
Anyways,
our lives.
she's great. Yeah, when we were with them and we happened upon those weird stones and I saw some messed up shit. You remember we got that the Lord of the Stag Slumber or whatever.
Oh my goodness, I forgot about that.
What if I use that thing? We talked to the slag and the stag, not
The
slag.
slag?
No, not the stag. I misspoke. And we just ask him to put everyone to sleep.
Well, that might work actually. If the stag is down for it, they owe us.
In the guard
Kind of.
tower.
No, I'm saying the entire fucking encampment.
Oh,
is
that
like-
would be really great. I'm sure the mining construct will just drive itself out the moment that everyone falls asleep.
Well, if everyone's
But if
asleep, we
everybody's
just
out, we
walk
can just
in.
take a look around.
Yeah, we just go in and do some scouting and get the fuck out.
How are you going to bribe the pilot with your 100 gold if he is asleep?
You don't need to
You
bribe
could just-
somebody
hold
if
on.
they're asleep.
Hold on, you could just put it in his pocket and he'll wake up and say, "Oh, I got
Why the
100
fuck
gold."
would I do that? That's so stupid.
It's very important to the plan. You put 100 gold in his pocket, and then he'll shut up. He won't say anything. He won't tell the story about how he just fell asleep on the job.
I like it.
It's not a bad plan.
Will
to
certainly
just-
make a good tale.
I'm
Nonetheless.
not doing any of that. So obsessed with me not having gold.
Well,
I'm obsessed with having a pilot that knows how to operate the vessel.
Well, what if
Your
he came
100
along with
gold
us? We woke
seems
up one
to
of
be a
them,
good
or
way.
maybe the stag creature from the Fey realm. What was their name? Did they even tell us? I don't remember.
no,
It
we
feels
didn't
like so
get a
long
name. We
ago.
just knew that it was the Stag of Slumber. And he's not going to recognize me because I was a turtle back then. So you're going to have to
He'll
do the
recognize
talking.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he'll recognize me as you. So I guess he will recognize me.
You could always just go like.
I'm
Makes
not
like
gonna-
transforming noises.
I'm not going to do that and play. It's not, we don't, it doesn't make that much sound.
Go behind the bush or something if you're not comfortable. I don't know.
I'm not going to go behind the bush, Blibble. I am what
you
I
want
am.
What does it
Cover
take like a
you?
half hour to do or something?
With my
No,
body,
I
want me
just
to give
don't-
you privacy?
Look, he's going to recognize you. We don't need to change to anything.
Can
I
you
like
not do
this
it under
plan.
pressure?
It involves me not being left behind, so I'm in support.
Great.
Maybe wonder if they could like leave one of them awake. But how do we know if they're a pilot?
What are you going to
So,
tell
like,
him
yeah,
to
we'll
give
just-
the pilot the 100 gold? Or how? What do you? Why do
No,
you need-
there's nothing with the 100 gold. We just leave one of them awake so that
You're
way they
right.
can.
You're right, Blibble. We give him 100 gold and a note that says, "Psst, don't tell anybody." And then he knows that that's what the 100 gold is for.
That's not a bad plan.
Nope,
a really
never
good
mind.
plan.
I've changed my mind. Knock them all out. Knock them all out.
Knock them all out, but then how are we going to give him the 100 gold? Then you just have to keep it.
Well, we could just have
You're
Blibble
carrying
ride.
around all that jingly jangly money. Like, just give it to him.
Marin, why don't we just have Blibble write a note in Dwarvish that says, "Here's 100 gold."
And then sign it, Blibble.
Yeah.
And then they'll be like, Blibble does know Dwarvish. And also, he's a cool stand-up guy. He gave me 100 gold.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like the cost of knowing that you do speak and read Dwarvish might be around about 100 gold.
This new dove is very shrewd.
I'm gonna say this one more time. I want everybody to pay attention as I say this. No one is getting this gold out of my pocket. I would sooner die before someone take this gold from my pocket. Okay.
Is that what you're going to put on the note when you give it to the driver? I died so you could have the 100 gold?
There will be no note. I will not give this 100 gold to this stupid plan that makes absolutely no sense other than to just make the gold disappear from my pocket for some weird reason. And if we continue to pursue this line of thinking, Blibble's going to get a lot more murdery.
All right,
a lot
it's
quicker.
fine. Look, we'll talk to the stag and make sure Blibble goes to sleep, and then we'll take the 100 gold and put it to the pilot.
No, we will not.
Blibble, it's fine. All right. As long as when the arcane core of the mining construct is exploding and our flesh is melting from our bones, we don't hear the words, "We should have paid 100 gold to the pilot," as we're dying.
I'll say that.
We don't even know who the pilot is.
We know the pilot is a wizard. Locke told us.
You know what's interesting, though? It's like you can always threaten their life, and that's free. Isn't that great? You
Wait,
can be like,
hold on.
hey,
The
help
pilot-
us, or I'm going to kill you.
You didn't mention that the pilot was a wizard. Are we talking like
Potentially a wizard. I think it was speculated.
like a very simple wizard, or like someone's gonna like throw a fireball in my face when we try to sneak in there?
No,
wizard?
I think a drive a vehicle type wizard.
What the fuck is a drive a vehicle type
I don't
wizard?
even. I don't know.
Is that
Honestly, I have no
Leave
idea.
that.
Relaying
Don't put
what
that verse
Locke
in your
said
song.
and relayed
Heads
to
up.
us.
That's a terrible verse. If you try to weave that into a tale, it'll people will see that story sucks from a mile away. Look, all right. I'm gonna let's see what the Blibble. You got to talk to the stag.
All right. Summon it away. Should we go further away so they don't notice?
Yeah. Let's walk 20 feet. I don't know. We'll go over there.
Here we go.
Yeah, we walk the opposite direction, 20, 30 feet. If I remember right, the stag, the boon was like a teardrop, if I recall correctly. And that we could smash it on the ground when we wanted to converse. Okay. Yeah, so I kind of look around. All right, this looks good. And I throw the teardrop at the ground.
The stag of slumber takes form before you as liquid pours from this stone you smash and creates a scintillating light that takes the shape of a stag until finally it solidifies into something that's almost tangible, but not quite. It quavers at the edges, almost like a mirage, or like it has heat waves coming out of it. In between its large, multi-branched antlers, you see two eyes kind of half open, staring out at you languidly, with the very cosmos themselves sort of reflected in them. It looks at you, and you feel for a moment, Prel, naked, as it almost sees through your guise at the true changeling underneath.
You're gonna talk to him. I just pointed at Blibble. Does the creature respond, or does it just continue to stare at me?
It marks your presence. It doesn't seem outwardly hostile to you. It's like waiting.
Hello again. Stag of slumber. Hope you've been well. I don't want to waste your time. You offered us this boon as a favor when we needed you. There's this camp right over there.
Yes,
Fort.
you do need me. You require my assistance, small one. For
Yes,
there is a
yeah.
shadow that clings to you.
Oh, well, yeah. There's the moon's really bright.
In darkness.
There's shadows everywhere. Honestly, it's really.
A shadow clutching at your soul, and you suffer alone.
It's all that gold he's got on him, right?
I mean, not so much that I'm talking about. With the shadows?
Not that.
No.
Okay,
Although, what did you do
interesting.
with that? Did you talk inside my head for a moment?
Yeah, and you've known that like this creature has telepathic communication,
Uh-huh.
and you hear its voice inside your head for a moment. Are you well?
I think so. With the whole shadowy thing, it's just like sometimes I don't know. It's lifting right now. It's like whatever I say. Hey, Scoria, how you doing? Talking to the thing.
You fear this entity.
A little bit. It's like benefited me, but also I feel like maybe it's gonna fuck me over. I don't know.
Do you wish to be free of it?
If it's gonna end up completely fucking me over and I'm just gonna end up being like this vessel, then yeah, it's not worth the power, because obviously there's a boon for me and it's advantageous for me to be able to have some of the abilities. But it's not
You
worth it.
fear losing your ability to manipulate arcane energy.
Yeah, honestly, I always thought some of it was coming from me, but I also know that some of it is probably tied to them.
Is your patron foul?
I wouldn't say foul, I would say meddlesome. They want me to do a lot of shit. That's like, why are we doing this? And then they don't tell me. So it's like, okay.
So you have sought me out to give you a new patron.
Well, there's this whole other thing with the camp, actually. I don't know how many favors we get with this. This is kind of like a sidebar.
And in place of your current abilities, you would instead gain a vestige of my power.
I mean, honestly, that might be good.
Then, shall we commune?
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to say fuck it. Let's go for it.
At this, the stag's eyes completely open. And for a moment, they seem like they're growing larger and larger and larger and larger. And you feel so small, like you are the pupil of this eye. And as you are absorbed within it, you behold the Feywilds in all their glory. You behold the cosmos. You behold the balance between the different realms and how thin the veil is between them. And you understand that in your soul's bonding, almost like an impurity inside of you, scoria is expelled out. And you become a different warlock pact, as you are now
Whoa,
in a pact with a celestial.
that's fucking sick.
For a moment, it feels like your entire body is on fire as this impurity is sort of expelled. And you almost like nails across your brain, you feel scoria trying to cling to you, but then you feel numbness and then warmth as your new patron embraces you. It feels like sunlight on your skin, and for the first time in a long time, Blibble, you feel comfort and you feel safety. But most interestingly,
You don't feel as though this patron desires anything from you.
Fuck.
And then, like mist evaporating before you all, the stag dissipates. But you feel it in your heart that is still with you, Blibble.
Hey, where the fuck you go? We didn't do it. He just disappeared. Blibble, what'd you do? Why do you got that smile on your face?
You see Blibble like smiling with his like eyes closed, and you see like just kind of like pure happiness, kind of, you know, and that warmth wash over him, and you see tears streaming down his face as he's just like overcome with this emotion that he's kind of just pushed deep, you know, down because he couldn't face it. And so I think he's just quiet for a moment, just absorbing what just happened.
Blibble, why are you crying?
I'm just, I didn't think it was possible. I have, oh, so good news, bad news.
They're going to sleep. What's the bad news?
Wait,
can you not read another language?
No. Well, actually, I'm not. Hold on, something dwarvish.
I don't. Yeah, here. I guess take this. I hand you it's a receipt from some work that we had done at the tannery. It's got a dwarvish comment at the bottom.
Can he read this or no?
He can.
It says, "Go fuck yourself, Blibble."
Oh, that's nice. Go fuck yourself, Blibble.
What? Oh shit! No! That's not. That's not what it says, man. That's not. We don't need that. I start tearing up the receipt. That was the wrong paper. It didn't say that.
I can read again. I can actually read again.
I wouldn't be so sure that. What did you do? That's the good news or that's the bad news?
Okay, time to be very transparent. So I've had this darkness inside of me, and that you're right about the whole fire thing.
Is this serious moment?
It's a little. I mean, for me, it's this big moment. And I feel a little bad because it's selfish, but also it was something I couldn't pass up. Part of the way I got the power that I did have was I bonded with this freak, and I thought that it was worth it, and then over time I realized that it wasn't. It robbed me of a lot that made me me. So the Stag of Slumber offered me something to purge this being from me, and I'm sorry that I don't know if I have a bit of their power in me now. I'm certain I do, but I don't know if we can sleep the whole camp now, you know? So I'm sorry that maybe I screwed up that part of the plan, but God, it feels good to have happiness again.
Blibble, I'm so happy that you're happy, but you needn't worry because we've got a plan B. We simply bribe the pilot. It's perfect.
Wait, hold on.
I can't be angry at you at all.
Wait a minute. Blibble, that spell, that might have, I mean, maybe not 100. That was a big boon that we got there, and we kind of used it for you, and we didn't get anything for that, you know?
But if you think about,
I'm just fucking. That's messed up.
Oh, God.
It's all right. Yeah. No, we don't need anything. I'm happy for you. You should have told us about this sooner. We could have helped.
see, that's the thing about the way I was living is just there's a lot of fear because Scoria, that's the name. A lot of veiled threats, and I didn't know what they would do. It started out as just kind of like, do this for me, but then it started to get a little crazier, and asking me to do stuff I'm not really comfortable with. And from what I can feel, this one doesn't ask anything of me. It seemed like they just wanted to purge what was there.
Gotta be careful making.
I didn't even bring it up. They did.
Yeah, it's you gotta be careful making deals with people like that, things like that.
Lesser of two evils.
For now, we are still kind of fucked with this whole camp thing. So,
well, I don't know.
Unless we do the whole plan B that Wyman's got, but I don't know. I mean, that's kind of pricey for one of us.
They said to me, though, that there might be, that I would absorb some of their essence and power. So it's possible I could do something now.
You can put the whole place to sleep.
And indeed, Blibble, you feel as though your skill sets have changed. Now, above the table, I'm going to give you an offer. This is a celestial, but it originally came to you as its Fey manifestation. So you can choose to be a pact of the Arc Fey or a pact of the Celestial, depending on the types of skill sets you would want. Now, if you go for the Arc Fey manifestation, you would get access to sleep, calm emotions, and you would be better at manipulating people through charming them and stuff like that, because that is the type of abilities that the Fae does. The Stag of Slumber, and I guess now that you've communed with it, you would know, controls the sleeping and waking dreams between all of the realms, and therefore can stride between them with ease. If you go with the Pack of the Celestial, you would gain a small piece of insight of the light that illuminates the multiverse. And this would grant you the ability to, let's say, destroy undead, to channel divine light through your body to either heal or harm those that would hurt you or your friends. Very different than the searing power of Scoria, which once coursed through your veins, which, although you were able to channel it to your uses, often felt like it burned through you when you did so. This is a very different sort of sensation you have now.
Yeah. Feel like it's in a.
And I suppose we can decide off camera which way you want to go, since I think that'll determine how this next segment goes. I did have a combat planned, but I do think it would be unfair to throw a player in.
And make a decision, Max.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be fair to be like, all right now, what's your spell list? You know?
I don't know, without knowing the exact spells and stuff.
Yeah, I sent them to you on Discord, but it's definitely too fast for you to.
It's a lot to go through. Yeah.
Yeah. If it makes sense to make this the episode, then we can wrap a little early and then come back next week. Brooke might be back next week or might not be, but I'll stick around. We'll finish out the mission.
Yeah, Prowl will have to come back next week now.
Yeah. Yeah. Does that work? You want to do that?
Does that work for everyone? It works for me. It works for everyone else. And we can get a peek at what I had planned, which is, boom.
Listen, I didn't think that was going to happen either. That was like a thing that was
going to happen either. I thought that would have been resolved in crew 1, but no one ever did anything with the boon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we were told that.
Yeah, and to use it for this, I was like, oh, this is interesting. This is one of those things I thought was gonna. But yes, this was the map we're looking at now was some of the combat I potentially had planned today. I used a Modron for our mining construct
Yeah, it looks great.
because I feel like it fits. But maybe next week when we have our spells sort of selected, we can go into this next confrontation. Maybe there will be no confrontation. Maybe Blibble will simply put everyone to sleep, or maybe they will simply bribe the pilot. 100 gold is a lot of money.
It's true. It's a lot of money.
Not really.
Yeah.
I mean, just casually won 100 gold in a fishing competition. I mean,
It's not
go
that
win another
much,
fishing
again.
competition,
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
Yeah. You know,
All right.
normally that 100 gold is divided amongst 5 people, but I mean,
Yeah, you did just scoop it up. Let's do some
Yeah.
shout outs.
I couldn't just leave it there. That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. Who would do that? Who would allow that?
Reeses?
That's what I'm
Yes.
saying. That would be crazy. That'd be like somebody who's not even used to this world and is maybe, I don't know, like a fish person, a fish out of water,
Something
sort
like
of
that.
sort of tale.
Yeah. That makes
All
sense.
right. Wheat, who are you? Where can people find you? What are you up to this
What's
week?
up? DJ Wheat, play Lord Wyman here. Thanks so much. I really enjoyed that episode, even though it was a little bit more shenanigans. Surviving any episode is great, and I'm also a-okay with shenanigans. It is interesting to kind of experience a little bit of Crew 1 through what's happening in status quo. So, I love that aspect of it. Keep it up, everyone. That's awesome.
Awesome.
Amazing.
Find me at DJ Wheat on everything. Yeah,
Max.
Sorry, guys. I made the show about me.
No, it was so good though. It was so
Really
good.
do this so that way the framing's good. I didn't expect that to happen. I'll talk more about it obviously in the post show because that's what the post show's for. But I've been Blibble. We'll have combat for sure in the next thing, or we won't, or we'll have sleep, some sort of encounter. I'm sure there's some people out there that are just like, get into some combat, but it's one of those things. I feel like the rest of the shenanigans that we get up to is still really fun, and to rush through any of that to try to just satisfy an itch for combat would do a disservice to our characters in the show, which is always the balance, that we try to strike. But that was cool. Other than that, I'm on Twitch, everything on the internet, Gassy Mexican. I will say this Saturday, special thing, because we've been talking about Star Trek here and there. So I'm going to plug this Saturday. We're doing a Star Trek Saturday, which is something I used to do, watching through all of TNG and then into Deep Space Nine. We're doing a special edition of it where it's myself and my wife, my lovely wife, Beth, and we are watching season 2 of The Next Generation. I believe it is the 18th, Saturday at 6 p.m. Central. And we're going to be dressed up in costume
Oh,
and probably have some bevies. We're going to have a little watch party. So that'll actually be on twitch.tv/GassyMexican2. But I'll probably do like a little pre-show just to kind of ping and let people know on my main channel. So if you guys are interested, want to join us for that, you're welcome to. But other than that, I'll probably be streaming later on tonight, playing something.
Awesome. Who's next? Bronze?
Are you dressing up as Riker? Because I know that one's name.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a Riker-esque.
Yeah, because you have the facial hair for it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it just makes sense.
JP, I know you love plugging yourself, so go ahead and plug yourself.
It's
since you
fine as
love
long as I
doing
have
it.
someone that tosses to me. You'll do some shout outs after this though, right, Bronze? Like you're gonna tell us where.
I'm gonna toss to myself. Why can't you toss to me?
I don't know about that, Bronze. This is the plight of the show host. Hi, hello. I'm not part of Crew 2, but I will probably be back next week since we kind of ended in a spot where it would require as such. Dodger may or may not be here as well. We're kind of playing that by ear, but we'll let everyone know when we know more if she'll be joining us next week. So
They need you, like based off of stats.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah, so, I'm aware. I'm aware.
Mhm.
It also wouldn't make sense just to be like, all right, fuck you guys. I'm leaving. You took my stag. I'm done. Like,
No, this really helped me out because I was actually like looking at the spells and I was like, oh gosh, how do I design an encounter where these people will live? And then
yeah,
I was like, oh, hey, this works.
yeah, exactly. Anyways, I will be back most likely tonight, probably playing some more Wild Hearts for some chill stream. Tomorrow we'll do a normal trailer time where we take a look at all the trailers released in the past week. And then tomorrow night, I will not be here because I'm going to go see the critically reviewed Quantumania, which we'll
And
talk
fuck
about.
all those reviews and all those people. Who gives a shit about this? All those people are fucking haters anyway, dude. They're all haters.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
This
there's
is
too much Marvel stuff. And like, where's the movies? Fuck you. Fuck you.
I feel like
We'll
we need
love
to
what
have.
we love,
I feel
right?
like we got to have weed on
Mark
MCU crew.
agrees. He
Yeah.
agrees.
Yeah.
He says what Wheat said.
Anyways, it's really awkward now because Bronze wants to do shout outs, but no one's going to throw it to her. So
Bronze,
I'll
how
do my
about
own
you?
shout-out.
that's Anne.
Oh, yeah, man. Oh, shit.
Wheat, thank you so much. This is the first time I've pre-purchased my tickets to go
Whoa.
see Quantum Mania.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm going to the fancy theater with the reclining seats, you know?
Whoa.
So
Mhm.
yeah, and they were actually booked out. So
Well, that's
I'm
exciting.
With
excited.
or without
to
the
go
cast this
watch
time of the
it.
movie.
Without.
Okay.
Do you know it's so so my wonderful friend Todd Stashwick got to finally announce he's in the new Picard season, and he was telling me, he was like, oh, I watched your Forspoken streams and your YouTube video, and I was like, you watch my video? Don't watch Last Call for Adventure. I was like, please don't watch it, please. Whatever you do, don't watch any of that because it's so much of you guys being like, Picard sucks. I'm like, don't watch it. Don't watch that. You can watch everything else. Please don't watch my streams anymore. What else was I gonna say? Oh, I'm gonna be streaming in a little bit. I'm so excited to say this Quest pre-production meeting because I guess I'm a producer now and I'm GMing a show we crowdfunded. Last year we were able to raise $150,000 for a budget, and we're shooting next month. And so it's a lot of pre-production meetings, and I'm so excited to announce that Michael Schabach has been onboarded as our director, and Schabach has directed every single season of Dimension 20. So I'm so excited to work with him again.
Awesome.
I'm so excited to make this show. Like, yeah, and so after that, I'll be live playing some games. Probably Dark and Darker because I've been kind of going crazy in that
It's the
game.
final day. You got to jump
So
in.
good.
I know, and I want to get some last games in before they bring the servers down. And yeah, if you're interested in seeing some of the clips or some of the videos from that, you can check out my YouTube and my Twitter.
Which is
At That Bronze Girl everywhere, because JP helped me with that like 3 years ago. I used to not be
That's
at
true.
That
I
Bronze
forgot
Girl,
about that.
but
Yeah.
JP really helped me with that. JP's a real ally.
Yeah,
Thank you, JP,
that's true. I forgot about that.
for uplifting women of color.
That was the
Nice.
before Elon times. It's tough over there now.
Yeah, I would imagine I would imagine it's probably very different now.
It's a little bit.
I also just now realized we were talking about anime and I'm wearing a Trigun shirt.
Nice. I really hope Dodger's back next week. Dodger is a massive anime fan. I mean, so is Wheat, but like, I would
didn't
put
even
Dodger
clock
on
it.
anime Mount Rushmore. Anime
Dodger wins. Yeah.
Mount anime. Yeah, whatever you want to call it. Anyways, I hope she's back next week because that'll be a fun pre-show to come back to. That's it though for us. We're gonna do that post show. Wheat's got to cut out. So Bronze, you want to join me and Max for post show, or do you got to go?
I can do that.
Cool.
Whee!
Well, Bronze in then for that, and Wheat will depart. So you can find that over at patreon.com/lastcallforadventure. That's it for us this week. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next week for more on Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern. We're out of here. Bye bye.